What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a really special guest in the building. Listen, this man is a singer, songwriter, producer, and one of the wickedest bass players around. You know, we have in the building today, we have Wormbass in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Oui. Blessed loves, give thanks and praises for the opportunity to give thanks and praises for life itself. Thank you for having me on the program,
Thank you so
Everything
much.
is good.
Thank you so much for coming to the Entertainment Report podcast today.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure.
Definitely. And I know somebody like you, when I was speaking to you earlier, I said you're almost like one of the hidden gems, and we're going to really discover the body of work that you've done in this industry here today. You understand?
Yeah, man.
All right. On this podcast, we like to go right from the beginning and then bring it right up to 2022. So my first question for you is this. Where did you grow up in Jamaica, and what type of child were you?
Well, I grew up in a little parish. Well, not such a little parish, but a parish in the east called St. Thomas, from this little district called Johnstown. A typical country boy who tie out goat and cow and have to wake up early in the morning and, put your foot down in the night drew and, get ready for school and get ready for Sunday school when it's Sunday school time. So, yeah, it's a typical country boy, Help my mother look a load to go Kingston and sell, that kind of energy there.
How was St. Thomas and your area that you're growing up that time? How was it growing up in the area?
Well, I'm coming from the part where I know when the first electricity came into my district. So I'm going to tell you, it's like way back, riding donkeys and, going to the spring for water. And, so my thing was, it was really ancient, and it was like when the culture of Jamaica was really the culture, So a lot of things that I'm seeing now in 2022 is really strange for me, because even when things evolve, it's still strange for me because it's not like stuff that I used to. Even though I'm well traveled, it's still strange to me. Because I'm coming from the era where, if I walk on the road and I give trouble and somebody see me giving trouble, they probably flag me. And I have to kind of beg them not to say it to my daddy, because if they say it to my dad, I'm going to get another flagging kind of thing. That's the place I'm coming from.
From there, and then growing up now, especially in the country, the rural part of the country, what did you think you were going to become growing up? Do you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, a farmer? What do you want to become growing up at that time there?
Well, to be honest with you, I was in love with the police force. So I thought I was going to be a policeman. That was my aim. My dad wanted me to be like some doctor. He was pushing me to that, but I thought I was going to be one of the best policemen ever. So that was what I was leaning to, because I started doing like cadet. I started from scout as a little tender little boy. We started the scout in the church. Then when I went to when I went to primary school, I enrolled myself into the cadet. So yeah, I was heading to that army police kind of energy. Yeah.
What was it about policing and even the army that you liked in the first place? What really captured you about that stuff there?
I think it's more from a discipline point of view. I like to uphold a kind of principle, a kind of discipline. I like manageable people, and I wanted to kind of get that vibe going. I was a cadet leader, a scout leader, so it was the same kind of energy that I wanted to continue myself as a big man. I wanted to be that person who instilled discipline into the youths, them.
For sure. And so then when did you start to discover music? When did you either, was it something in the area? Was it something you heard? When did you start to discover music now?
Well, you know, that question, you know, I would say the music really discovered me. I really don't didn't discover it. It discovered me because from a little youth now going to church, because that's the only place I used to go, church, as a little youth. So from that tender age now, I found out that I am very much inclined to singing. So I was a little youth who they would put on the pulpit, because you know normally when you're doing like concerts and stuff in church and you stay down on the lower floor, you don't go up where the pastor go or where the choir, you know. But because I was so little, they would put me up there to sing, and I would be the one who people would say 10 cent take him down, and the next man would say 50 cent put him up back. So I'd be going back and forth for the whole night until when the collection plate or whatever they collecting the money, look enough, they say, all right, enough for the night. Yeah, so I was that kind of person. Then people start hearing about Delroy, and people start coming from different district now and taking me from my mom and dad, and take me to their district to do the same thing. So I was like that man in St. Thomas that go around and help church. So I had this song that I used to sing. I'm working on the building, working for a strong foundation, working on the building just for my Lord. So I would do that song whenever they want. So I was singing that song, working on the building. So you better send in the money, cause this money is to build the building. So my labor in terms of singing for churches is printed in a lot of churches in Jamaica, all over the place. I used to go and do it. So from time the music really chose me. So with even that energy as a little youth, we weren't really thinking that this is what going to be our life. I was thinking more like, yo, I need to go get into this police force thing. I used to have a virgin. Well, I used to have a virgin where was like a detective, but him rate me as a little school youth, so he would always carry me going at the station. Like when me done school, me always go spend like 1, 2, 3 hours learning, because that's what he was doing, actually mentoring me, because he know that I really love this, but never know that the music was going to take me over like how it did.
Like that there. So even did you see anybody in your house? Was anybody in your house or in the area actually doing music where you said, okay, you want to sing also? Or was how do you discover your voice to start singing?
No, at that time, nobody in my house used to sing. It's just me alone. Now, all right. Used to have my next door neighbor used to go on farm work. So when he go on farm work now, he would bring down radio and he would bring down records and stuff like that. So I always hear him playing music over him yard. So sometimes I'll go over there and just want playing the music, because I find out that I like this vibe. And there was this song that the guy always playing is called Hear O Lord. It says, Hear O Lord, the sound of my voice. Hear O Lord. So that drawing me closer and closer to the energy. And then there was this other neighbor now that had a box guitar. He didn't know how to play it, but he had it. So I always go around him and find him. I brush it too, not knowing what we're doing really, but just trying stuff, you know what I mean? And that's how it grows, you know what I mean? And reach to the heights level, you know? Because even up until today, they have no formal training in voice or music, in playing an instrument. All of that is self-taught.
That's crazy. And the stuff that you were able to achieve out of just being able to pick it up and know that this is in you and you knew how to work it, that's amazing, boss.
Yeah, for real.
Good. I mean, so even when you're going to school, because you said church, okay, you started in church, you started singing and stuff like. When you went to school now, were you actually pursuing it? Were you in a band, a choir, singing in a school, singing in class? What were you doing when you were in school?
No, singing in classes is a must because everybody knows start figure out say, oh, Delroy can sing, Delroy love this music thing, so we like always have beat the dance and always I do something until we end up starting be the person who sing at devotions and stuff. Because I remember at that time, school days, it was nothing about secular music. It was just gospel music, So we got baptized when we were like 13, 12, somewhere there. So we are all our younger age, it was just about church. You know what I mean? So we'll be doing like the devotions. When I was at Seaford Secondary School, there was like this virgin who sell like cane and jelly and them stuff there at the fence. Most school have that. So this virgin he also have a guitar. So I'll be there like sometime when school call and if I go back to my class, them know if I could come find me because I write to some media. I never really have like a whole heap of friends. And just like the other day I was like here thinking, like, whoa, I can't even remember, my classmates and name and stuff like that because I wasn't that kind of student. I wasn't that kind of youth. I run up and down with my friend them and them something. Anyway, the music that's where you would find me, you know what I mean? So it was like really that.
And this is, as you said, this is not secular. This is all gospel music that you're
At that time, it's all gospel, street gospel music. You know what I mean?
Because I know at one point you even joined the church choir, the Methodist Youth Band.
Yeah, that time. Okay, no, all right. We start get famous then. Because I always said this, I must start from a little church. So yeah, we're named start calling us. You have this group called Methodist Youth Band in Montego Bay that these are professional people and they go around and bands, a good professional band. Then I was at my house one day and see a car drive up. This man came out of it, Mr. Pinnock, we call him Pinchy. And, he introduced himself to my parents and tell them, say, him hear about me and he would like to let me join the Methodist Youth Band. So my mom, said, okay, I will see. And so I started going there. As a lead singer, one of the lead singers, because there was like two people, me and a girl, Claudia Otar. We were the lead singer of the group. When I go there, I met she as the lead singer, then I joined, become one of the lead singer also. And I did that for a couple of years, up and down, same way, singing at church, singing at barbecue, singing everywhere, but gospel music. Mm-hmm. So since as we're there now, I could probably tell you how the bass thing come along now. So I was there one day. We went to rehearsals and the bass player didn't show up. So we didn't know what happened at the time. Anyway, I was always inclined to the bass, was always fooling around the guitar, but it's the bass I know I really love. So when I'm singing, I always watching the bass player. If I'm not singing, I'm watching the bass player, So the day when we went to rehearsal, all of us there and waiting, the bass player didn't come. So I took up the bass. And I said to Claudia, I said, you sing and I'm going to go and play around. So she sing and me, I try to remember the stuff them with that I saw him doing. So that was the rehearsal for the day. Mm-hmm. And from that day until today, that bass didn't come back out of my hand.
So it was first you started out singing. Singing was your thing, but you also had your eye on the bass.
Yeah.
What was it about the bass in particular that you liked so much?
I think it's the heartbeat of it. That sound, it sound commanding and demanding, and it draw you to it. Like, yo, you have to hear this. Flinker is like this. It's jerk the whole place, you know what I mean? And that draw me to it. I at a later date I realized that it's also a melody instrument. So it's more like singing also. because the bass played its own melody, you know. But yeah, and then again too, at that time I like the look. It have a sexy look to it. It look, you know, when the bass man have it and I say, oh, this have a vibe in it. Yeah, so that kind of draw me closer to it, you know. Mm.
So then so were you still the lead singer and the bass player at the same time, or the bass player came back and you went back to leads?
No, he didn't come back in the band because actually he left the band because Yellow Man at the time, Yellow Man becomes the thing. And there was this sound system in St. Thomas called Aces International. So Aces pick up Yellow Man now and started to do some work with Yellow Man, and they wanted to put a band together. So this is how they draft my bass player now. But he went without saying anything to us. He just went over there and started rehearsing with them and stuff. So he didn't come back. So I becomes the bass player in the band. And
So then,
singing.
so you're playing and singing.
And singing. Yeah. Which at the time, playing gospel music and singing, it's much easier than playing reggae and singing. Because gospel music is more like sustain notes in those days. So you sustain your bass and you know you're going to the next note. So you're not really playing a melody line. You know, not like no. No is a different thing. And even when I get deeper in the bass now, I was part of the ones who revolutionized the gospel music in the church. Or I should say the beat of the different genre of music in the church, because I started experimenting in different genre of music when I was in the church.
Okay, and this is still while you're with the Methodist Youth Band.
This is still when I was with the Message Youth Band, because I had my church that I was a part of the musical directing and the choir and everything, different from the Methodist Youth Band as a little 14-year-old youth. You know what I mean? I was doing all of that. When my church have convention, I have to be there. I have to be the one who makes sure that the music, you know, come across a certain way. And it reached to the point till my pastor get up in the church one day and said to me, boy, brother Niffin, I would like to ask you a question. So it was big convention, you know, people from America, people from all about come. So all the Church of God in Christ would meet at this one place now for a 7-day convention. When my pastor get up in the church now and said to me, he would like to ask me a question. He want to ask me, what is church music? So I was taken aback a little, but you know, I am a leader. I am a fiery person. I don't back away from nothing. You know what I mean? So I get up and I say, praise the Lord, church, and fire up the church. And after I fire up the church now, then me ready. Meantime, I fire up the church, me a searching in my head for the answer to give him, because it's a weird question. And I know that it's because of the things that I'm doing, why you would want to do that, you know what I mean? So I said to him, with all due respect, Elder, you know, I mean, I don't think there is no such music as church music. Him said, what you mean? You see what I'm talking? So I said, hold on. I don't think there is no such music as church music. What I think music is a universal language. And it's the lyrics that you put to the music, turn it into a church music or a secular music, and the church get up and give me standing ovation. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've been I'm one of them who bring reggae into the church and disco into the church, because I think the thing need to up there. I think it need to. I don't think number one people should own it.
So at this time, you started to actually, because while you were in church, you started to listen to secular music at this time also.
Yes.
Who were you listening to? Who was giving you the inspiration to say, you know what, I could probably do this style inside a church?
But I was listening to this probably going to sound weird, but I was listening to Michael Jackson. I was listening to Prince. I was listening to Bob Marley, and I was listening to Peter Tosh, you know what I mean? Dennis Brown. I was listening to Wailing Soul, listening to all kind of different music. You know what I mean? I listening to the dancehall. I was listening to Yellow Man. I was playing Puna and rhythm into the church. Seriously. I was playing Ansa, Punani, all them stuff. I was playing Bill Najib. I was playing all them kind of bass line into the church. You know what I mean? Because it was amazing to me. It felt so good. It felt so good.
And that's where the pastor kind of asks you, what is it that you're doing here, type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. He rebuked me. He was like, wow, this is not for the church. And, you know, up to today, me and that pastor don't see eye to eye. You know what I mean?
That's so crazy. All right. So you're doing your stuff with Methodist, a youth band. How long did that situation last for?
Last for a little while. And then we start, I have some friends now, and we decided that we're going to put a band together to do like more road band, like a Sagittarian kind of energy. Same place in St. Thomas. That band was called Peace Band. Positive attitude towards entertainment. You know,
which one came first? Was it Pace or Essence that came first?
Peace.
And then Essence Band came after.
Actually, I wasn't a part of Essence Band.
Mm-hmm.
Essence Band was some of my friends. Mm-hmm. So you had Essence and you have Peace. You know, Essence Band was more established also because Essence have big management and pretty equipment but Blaze Band, I mean, Peace Band was a band for you to reckon with still. Mm-hmm. It was the ghetto band, you know what I mean? The more ragamuffin band.
So this was no longer gospel. This is now secular.
No, this now was everything. Mm-hmm. This was like a freelance. Tonight you find us in the Poco Church playing. Tomorrow night you find us in the Adventist Church. The next night you find us into the dance hall. Yeah, that was that kind of band. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did that for a couple of years also. You know? And then the drummer from Methodist Band, he had left and went on the North Coast. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we keep in touch now and then we talk. At them time you never have cell phone, and you know, if you want to link them on, you probably have to find a call box, and you know what I mean? So every now and then we make a little link, or when him come up on him day off, we link up and thing, you know? So one day, I got a message from him that I should come to Montego Bay. They needed a bass player in this hotel called Royal Caribbean Hotel in Montego Bay. So at the time, I never been so far. No, I don't never been to Montego Bay and stuff like that. But I said, okay, this sound like something. Thinking about it, I was like, I wonder if I really can deal with it, you know, because this is like a next level. But as I said, there is no opportunity. Once I'm not selling my soul, once I feel comfortable, I'm going to try it, you know what I mean? So I took the bus and I went down there. And we rehearsed like for about a week. Like the owner for the band, Derrick Barnett, he bring us to Negril into one of his villa, and we were there like for about 2 weeks, just rehearsing. Then we go to the hotel now. When I went to the hotel, at the time, remember I'm coming from a district or a parish where I am rated as the bass player, the singer, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So into myself now, I feel like the top man, should say. But when I went into the hotel, I realized that I was a baby. I realized that you just a start, you're a beginner, you know what I mean? And one of the incident that bring me down, like humble me. And I'm sharing this as an experience, as a part of my journey also for the younger musicians, or in any situation that you might get yourself in as a youth and, growing up and want to be something.
Mhm.
So it's very important that you humble yourself. It's very important that you know that, there's always somebody that done what you was gonna do before you. You know what I mean? So I was doing the first rehearsals now we're gonna do with Karen Smith. May the Lord bless, her soul in peace. You know what I mean? Karen Smith, very, very, very good cabaret artist.
Mhm.
So she was the artist that we were going to back for the first night in the hotel. So we are doing a rehearsal. Cabaret thing in Jamaica, how it goes. You rehearse today and you play the show tonight. So I was rehearsing and she bring up a song from Anita Baker catalog called, I think it was
Rapture. Rapture.
Rapture. That's the song.
Mhm.
So, I'm there trying to figure it out and learning the parts, like, because I'm playing off here and listening and playing back. And she came with a man. So the man was standing at the door, like just standing and looking down at us. And while I was there trying to figure out the song, he just came out and said, boy, I don't know, I want to get this idiot bass player from, I mean, this is a simple song, man. I mean, taking forever to learn the song. And you know what, man, don't worry yourself, man. So, coming from where I'm coming from, being who I am. And nobody has ever talked to me like that. Not even my mother or my father. Never roughed me up like that. So, my head hot and I say, oh, you want me to start running with the wickedest way, You know, all of my musicians, them know, stop and everybody jumping at them shell because them know who the person is, but I don't know who the person is. Me just a deal with him like a man to a man. Me no business who he is. You can't talk to me like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, the person was Jackie Jackson. Jackie Jackson is really one of the stalwart in a reggae world, boy. Yeah. Them man there at the time was the B man, play upon enough number one song and top man really. You know what I mean? And all him said, okay, done the rehearsal, no rehearsal. Because the rest of man them know the show, only me new to the show.
Mhm.
So them said, no more rehearsal, him will come play the show. Said play the show. So yeah, the man them say, yo, what's that we done? And everybody gone and we had them musician them didn't know. The man them say, well, sometimes them call me Kangaroo. I say, Kangaroo. That man named Jackie Jackson, the baddest bass man that's, and them start tell me who he is and re. Me still hot-head, me no business. But in the night now when the virgin come at the show,
Mhm.
the man jaw him bass, because we would play like the dinner set leading up to the show time. And when the show time come now, I have to just make him complete and pull out my bass and go sit down and go watch this man, Brother, when the man play the tune, brother, if I could have dig a hole in the earth and sink in a man, me say, if you could have covered me, that me not have to see this man listening to him. I could have run away. Because the man just play the show effortless, brethren. All the thing where I give me problem in the rehearsal every day, for the whole day, the man just play that effortless.
Mm.
So, me I tell her, say, yeah, that was one of my lessons. Now, the part that it will make it get wicked now is that me go to the man now. The man a pack up back in bass and, me I go start play back right away. So me I have to go back on the stage. When him a pack up, me a plug in and me I said, Father, say, I'm sorry about today. And the man just got on a Tony and look for me like a little dog him up, and I know the man said nothing to me, no, brother. He said, I know the man said nothing at all to me. The man that pack up the face and just walk gone both him business, brother. I say, yeah, okay. That's how it go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've been through that. And you know, that motivates me now, Faith. Learn and to get better. And even before that, I was struggling because this is a big responsibility. And I never used to this fast pace. You know what I mean? Which, you know, I start get frustrated and want to go back on my yard because I St. Thomas me comfortable, me not no problem. So I want to go back on my yard. So the drummer now, Junior, he said to me, where you go? Kangaroo, where you go? You go back to St. Thomas for do what? What you need for the brother? You need to practice your bass, brother. You need to get the song them, and you need to learn the song them. And I say my encourage me. So as I said to you now, in my district now, a whole heap of people always have a farmer. So my sister did have a boyfriend now, and he bring down, he knows I love music, so he bring down a big double deck tape for me. One of them kind of brownish looking double deck tape where they used to mash up the place and them time. When you turn it on, it sounds like a sound system.
A boombox.
Boombox. And it also have a plug on it where you can plug your bass into it and play through it. So meantime you play the cassette and learn the song, you can play the bass and hear the bass same time. So what my day off was on a Thursday. So the Thursday, you know, after all of that, I'm jump on the bus, come back to St. Thomas, grab my boombox and go back come up here with it. And brother, when me done work at night time and everybody gone at them bed, 3, 4 o'clock a morning, me still I learn song. And I tell them, I learn till 2 months later, either 2 or 3 months later, I become the band leader in the band. And also singing and playing now in the band. Every comment, you know, in the hotel they have a thing them called comment sheet. So in the hotel now, yes, it gets them start right on the comment sheet now. Oh, the bass player. Everywhere you look, the bass player. So my manager come now and say, boy, my at the time my band leader named Ricky, him come and him say, boy, Ricky, I don't know what I want, but everywhere I turn off a kangaroo, the people them I talk about, I forgot to do something about that. So the man demote the leader and give me input. So me start get the leader money now. Remember the leader, the dad tell me, he said, if I can't work, if I go on me yard, because when Thursday come and him a pay me, him not take 1 cent out of my pay. Him tell me that, you know. And you know, me start get film pay, you know, so film $200 other than my money now, where him did I get. And him end up, he was so embarrassed. He ended up leaving the band like a month later. You understand? But we've been through all of these things just to get stronger. And from there, so the thing not stop, man. It just keep rising and rising and rising, you know?
But even before we go any further, because I remember when we first started, you said that you wanted to be a police or get into the army or something. So when you're in the music all this time here, were you still trying to pursue the police and the army, or that had gone out the window?
No, and that's run out. That run out. That means that like a bird flying, man. Because the first thing to speak of, as a young youth, you think about money. You get me? So whatever career you're going to choose, you still a think say you want a career where you can feed yourself and feed your family, right? Early out, me get a youth and get early married and you know them church thing they have to marry quick and them me don't have my responsibility. So money was the most important thing. So when I went to the North Coast and start work, me realized that I get more money than the police. So me never want to go back in the police force. Me never had to think about that. And I want to tell you, up to today, most of my friends them still are police.
Okay.
Most of my friends them because when I graduate from school, most of my class, a police them man that did got hurt. You see me? So we still have whole heap of police friend, but no, them me nothing to be no police. All me do with them now is just teach them things, like tell them things. Cause my head always around them way by telling them, yo, you can't do that so and do that so and do that so. You know what I mean? So even today, my first son is a police, cause then him come and that him go do cause that in him DNA because so that needed love. So we don't see him even tell me say I'm gonna be police when we find out say I'm a police. I wasn't surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that did gone out of the window from dropping at the hotel, the police thing gone. That's Starlights, man.
Mm-hmm.
Enough girls and Starlight.
Because of all the practicing and everything you were practicing, you wanted to get good till you became the band leader, and that's what people are talking about at that time there.
Yeah. So we did that. We did that for probably about a year and 6 months or something like that. Then this big hurricane come to Gilbert. So when Gilbert come now, Gilbert blow down the place and blow me back at St. Thomas. Because I can't stay at Mobile if I don't have a job. I can't stay at Mobile for rent and them thing there. I'm a normal something. So we couldn't wait until the thing fix up back and stuff. So I was to go back to St. Thomas. You know? So I was in St. Thomas, not doing anything till I get a call again. Said there's this group in Americana Hotel in Orcharius that need a bass player. Now, there was this group called Hot Peppers from Orcharius. They used to do cabaret in most of the hotels. So they had a manager at the time called Mr. Richards, Art Richards, who knew of me from the hotel in Montego Bay. Because like a nighttime when he came down with the group and they are performing, we would stand behind in the back and we would talk. So me and him always talk and him know about me and him love my style and them thing. So when he went to Moby, you know, and realized say, I'm not in Moby, and him start to seek to find me. Link a friend say, yeah man, me know if to find him, man. So the friend link me and then me end up Ochi. When I went to Ochi, I went there to do an audition with the musical director at the time for the company who was called, his name is One Drop. I think his name Dropper now. He's singing, he's living in the States and he had his thing going on still. But when he came into the room and saw me, he said, yo, you get the job, man. Right then, basically, I know you from Mobile, man. You're all right, man. You get the job. So I started working the same night. So that is a next level now because Orcharius is more a faster space and bigger hotel because at the time Americana Hotel is like the hotel. You know what I mean? So yeah, the thing get bigger now. Anyway, I started working with them, and we used to rehearse like every Tuesday at a location that the boss have, which is a restaurant on the building and a rehearsal room. So while we in the rehearsing and, you know, doing our thing, I saw about 4 Japanese come into the room. And they came into the room with some cameras, some big cameras, start taking pictures and excitement. So we just rehearse. We in the hotel, we used to them kind of energy there because people always have video we and take pictures and stuff. Anyway, when we finished rehearse, Mr. Richard said to us that another time, I become that band leader also. So I was the band leader for that band.
And what was the name of the band?
The band was called Acid.
Acid, okay.
Yeah, the band was called Acid. So yeah, we were rehearsing and, you know, Mr. Richard said to me that these people are from Japan and they're looking at band to go to Japan to play into a nightclub. And they really love we and they want us to go. But one problem them have, nobody in the band is not a Rasta. And to owe them of it, if you play reggae music, you have to associate to Rasta.
I guess
See?
what they're seeing was like the Bob Marley and stuff. So in their mind, Bob
Yeah.
Marley is reggae. And anybody that's playing reggae should look like this man right here.
Should look like that kind of vibe. There should be a Rasta and smoke weed and that kind of energy there. But we are sweet boy. At the time I have jerk curls. That I had my lead singer ballad, and we never have that kind of, we never think about Rasta.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So me as a youth, always I try to find a way to make the thing work. Always I think how it can work. When him tell me that now, I start think about it. And it's like me just come up with the idea, say, boss, so we not make it, but we not just braid we hear them then. Cause from we braid we hear, we have a look like, sorry about that. We have a look like Rasta.
Mhm.
So him say, yeah, if we're not willing to do that, that can work. I say, of course, every man willing to do that. So boom, we braid we here. I will do a photo shoot and send the photo them down there and the man then send back thumbs up. Say, yeah, this is the look that we are looking for. They didn't even know it was we same man in pink. They thought it was a different band Mr. Richards put together. And said, this is the look. That's the look that we're looking for. In less than 2 weeks, we're on the plane to Japan.
So is this your first time leaving the island to play music?
Yeah, that was my first time leaving the island to play music. So my first flying out, it wasn't my first flying out of Jamaica, but the first time going to somewhere as a musician. So it was massive because them kind of people, that was 91, people had tried. People probably only hear about Japan. You know what I mean? So we signed a contract for 3 months and we went there. When we went there, the first night we played to probably about 9 people. When we go there, first night we played to probably about 9, and the 9 people we did 4 sets because that's the contract. 4 45-minute sets to 9 people. Second night, probably about 30. Third night, probably about 70. And I said start grow until it just get till people start the owner now have to start do 2 set, let out them people and the next 2 set, 2 new set of people come in. You know what I mean? We end up spending like a year down there. Just we keep on renewing the contract. They didn't want us to come back to Jamaica.
So you guys went there to back people, or you guys went as a full package?
Full package, lead singer, band. We had to the shows. We set them a 45-minute set, 4 45-minute set every night. Me I sing, the drummer sing, and we have a lead singer also I sing.
Mhm. What was that experience like now going to Japan, even though it's exciting to go to Japan, but remember, they speak a totally different language. It's a totally different vibe. What was that first trip to Japan like when you first went there?
Well, the first when I land there, first thing I recognized is that these people well principled. So right away, I fall in love with the principle of the place. Like, we find people are bow to me. That's what I say. And it's like no aggression. It's like, yo, I can't explain it. It was like I was in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything was smooth. Everything goes by the book. Anything they say they're gonna do, that's what they do. You understand? Anything that you decide with them, that is it. That is how it's going to be. So yeah, I fall in love with the culture. So it was easy for me, let's say, without even speaking a word of Japanese. It was easy for me because I could relate to the culture. And I love that. You know what I mean? Then being there, you started to learn 1 and 2 words, and you start to, learn the food and well, I didn't like the train. So what I did, I found a girl, and she carried me go around country place where when I got there, them start to pinch me and well me here, and that I could get a driver's license. So I think I probably be the first foreigner who got a driver's license in Japan. So I wanted a driver's license that I could drive because I didn't like the train.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's so
Yeah.
great. And when you were out there, do you meet any other reggae musicians that either came from Jamaica or that were out there, anything like that at that time there?
Well, there was 2 clubs in Tokyo. One called Jabba Jive and one called Hot Crockett. The Hot Crockett was the reggae club, and the Jabba Jive now was the everything club. So the Jabba Jive had musicians from Jamaica also, but those musicians was also our link, was from our company. But what I found there though, it wasn't Jamaicans. You had a few Jamaicans that was there, that like went there with girls or whatever. Some of them was musicians too, so they would like form little band, like probably about 7 of them. But what was there was a lot of Africans. Lot of Africans was there playing reggae music and African music. You know what I mean? But when we went there now, we becomes the talk of the town because we are from Jamaica, we are Rastamans, and we are playing the authentic reggae music. So that was one of the reasons why we stayed. We couldn't leave because the people just keep on renewing the contract. I had was to actually force myself out of Japan. Yeah, I have to tell them the night I and the manager that was such a good friend, we had a quarrel, really, I started to break down him stuff them because him decides to hold on from a pay because him don't want me to leave. So I was I dragged myself out of Japan.
Spending a year out there. So then after you did your year, you came back to Jamaica. What happened when you came back to Jamaica now?
Well, when I came back to Jamaica, I went right back into my job in the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was still my manager under the contract there. So it was really our work. So whosoever was there was just filling in for us. So when we got back, and then again, our name was big in the hotel. So when we got back, it was no problem for the hotel manager to say, when them come back, we need them back. But anyway, I spent 2 weeks in the hotel, and then I got approached again from some other people now to go to Cancun, Mexico. So the deal sounded good and everything was fine. So I go, boom, Cancun, Mexico. So I left again.
And this is
another different language, another different language country again,
And this is with the same band again.
Yeah, with the same band. I mean, I changed some of the I changed the lead singer and one of the keyboard player. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was the same band. You have to call it the same band. Now we went down there and I same treatment. You know what I mean? It was 3 months we're supposed to do, we do 9 months. And I end up staying there for 9. I left down there now is because my first son born and I wanted to come and see my son. So we just say, I go home. The rest of musicians, them say, boy, I remember anything at all. They say that we said to so we end up come back at Jamaica.
So then you had Japan, you did a year in Japan, you did 9 months in Mexico. This is big again, you didn't really bus or anything. You're in the hotel doing these type of stuff here. So you're getting these trips here. So then now you came back after the 9 months, you had your son and stuff. How did your name change from Kangaroo to Worm? Did it happen in this time here or it happened later?
No. My name changed from Kangaroo to Worm before I even left to Japan.
How did that happen?
I got that name when I went to Americana Hotel. Mm-hmm. The same guy that said it was okay for me, I don't need to do a audition or anything. One job, he said to me one night, he came by and he was watching me performing. And he said to me, Worm, basically every time I look on the stage and look for you, he come like a one worm, me I say. At the first, when he said it at the first time, when he said it was like, how am I call Worm? How can I name that? So I never really dig the name. But may I tell you, from the man say, around the rest of musician them, it's like from that night, my name just changed from Kangaroo to Worm. and it never stopped. Worm take over the whole of the North Coast like a worm. It worm in everybody's mind. Everywhere you turn a worm. Then I had two bug car, and I put worm across the windscreen at each of them. So everywhere just worm. And then I at the time I was, well, still it, but them kind of young and vibrant and crazy on stage, crazy. So everybody I talk about that youth over American and the worm, are you there? Beats there. What name? Worm, man. Worm. So the name just spread all over what you, anywhere you go, you know about worm. Even till today, anywhere you go. In a music. When you say worm, somebody know who you're talking about.
They know what it is there. So, all right, Bob, you came back from
Mhm.
Mexico. So, what happened? What were your next moves now? Now that you're back in Jamaica on soil, what were you doing at this point here?
All right. I used to date this woman out of Canada. Probably the first time I let out this. So yeah. I used to date this woman out of Canada, and we broke up. I have some kind of reason. I decided to say, yo, I'm gonna allow this lady. I'm not gonna deal with her no more. So when I was in Cancun, she came to Jamaica and was trying to find me. And somebody tell her that I'm not in Jamaica, I'm in Cancun. So she took a flight and come to Cancun to find me. When she come to Cancun, it was on my birthday. I was like working, and so one of the security guard came to me and said, "There's a limousine downstairs. It's not a normal woman, too. So they said, there's a limousine downstairs to meet somebody in there to me." And said, so I said, limousine, who could have come link me in a limousine? Anyway, I went out on the balcony and look over and see her. When we look over, she stand up at the back door. So I recognize her. So, whoa, what is she at here? Anyway, done work and introduce her to the rest of the musician them, and we did it, and she said she wanna do something for me. I said, "What you can do for me? What can I do for you?" So I said, "The only thing you can do for me is do an album. With all of this money you have, come produce an album." I said, "Sure, we do it. Wait. When you go back to Jamaica, you just link me up and we'll do it." So when I went back to Jamaica, that was my thing. In my head is that I'm going to do my album. So there was this, but while doing the album, we were doing the album in a Grove studio in Ocherius, right where IRFM is at now. There was this big major studio where enough people not even ever see. That studio was like the top of line studio in terms of equipment and stuff like that. Everything were in it was top line stuff.
Barry O'Hare was over there also.
Yeah, he was the one that was directing that album. You know what I mean? So I did the album with Barry O'Hare and Steven Stewart. And yeah, so while I was working on that album now, I have a friend that was working at Couples Hotel. And he said to me that they're going on a 2 weeks break and wanted somebody to replace them while they're out. So they knew that I was back. So they said, if I would be interested to use the same band that I was in Mexico with to just create. So that's sure. So while I'm working on the album, I'm doing that 2 weeks up there. When I go up there, these people don't want me to leave. So these my friends them are supposed to come off of them 2 weeks gig now, vacation. We still over in them time because them 2 weeks done and me still did not all know the people them not let me out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Anyway, the album finished, and we did a video for it. And we did a video for the lead track, and we decided to say, okay, we are going to put out this album now. Where am I going to hit the road?
Mm-hmm.
Long before I went to Japan, I met this virgin called Mr. Fletcher. Now, Mr. Fletcher is the one who had put the band City Eat together. He was the man who was responsible for that band. Also, the band called Flex. That was the first band for Buju Banton.
Mhm.
He is the man who put that band together. But when he wanted to put Flex together, I was supposed to be the bass player for that band because he already talked to me about that, doing that, but I went to Japan. So that boat passed me. When he heard that I was back now in Jamaica, he find me again and say, yo, I'm glad you're back, man, because I want to put another band together. So I say, yeah, sure. What we can do? So I talk to my musician, them tell them the plan. And I tell you, say, I have an album finished, ready for the road. And when this man come to me with the idea there, me forget about my album.
Because is it why did you forget? Because remember, now you got to push out as a solo. You have your
Yeah.
album ready to go. Why would you forget what you're doing and go join a band again?
Because I am a, how could I put this now? I am a person who love groups. I love to be with a band and not to myself at the time. This was something new that I was taking on, that is not something that I really, really like at the time. My thing is more like a group thing.
Mhm.
And then the next thing again now, I wanted to be the next Derrick Barnett.
Okay.
So this is another part of the thing now. Derrick Barnett has always been my idol. You get what I'm at? So I wanted to be the next Derrick Barnett. So when this opportunity come to me, I forget totally about my album. You know? So when I said to the woman that this is what I'm decided to do, she turned to me and she said, yeah, but I spent so much money and you're just gonna throw this away and these people just going to use you, and she started telling me all kind of thing. But if you know anything about Delroy, is that if you want me to do something, you better you join me. You can't fight it. If you fight it, never go harder. Doing what you don't want me to do. That's how I am. You know what I mean? So when she come to me, it does sound like it's a bag of negative things she tell me. I mean, I don't want to hear that. I mean, I say, yo, make the album go and rest. It go and rest. This is what me I'm gonna do. So this is how I leave out of the hotel circuit now, leave the North Coast, leave my album, and come to Kingston.
Okay.
When I come to Kingston now, it was like at the time was Junior Tucker, Sanchez, Carlin
Arlene Davis.
Carlin Davis, right? So these are the artists them now that Mr. Fletcher is introducing to us, that he wanted us to run with. At the time, don't text on them kind of song. They're the big song them in a Jamaica, so yeah, me feel nice because me have played some artists now where we know so we will start go places.
So then this band here was designed as a backing band, not as a band that has a lead
Yeah, we
singer.
have a backing band we are designing it as now, but I'm gonna tell you this.
Mhm.
Before we even get settled into that backing world, me done my house one day and say, Mr. Fletcher called me, say me fi bring my passport come. So I say, what go on? And I say, well, somebody approach him for a band to do clubs in America. So I end up with the same group going to America now, go do some clubs. With me, I play bass and sing again. With a next hit singer. So we did that. We tour the whole of Miami, Orlando, Tampa, the whole of the place as this little band. You know what I mean? So I say, my
What
God,
was the name of the band?
nobody's no bargain for.
What was the name of the band at this time here?
At that time, the band was called Original Eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, the band was called Original Eat. Yeah, we did all both in America, do that, and then we do time and we come back to Jamaica. Come back again in our little band house in Avondale. Start rehearse more now with Junior Tucker, Sanchez, Colin Davis, Jem Myers, any one of them. Anytime them little thing they go on, we go deal with it.
Mhm.
So there was this place in Mobile called Disco Inferno. run by a gentleman called Mr. Crooks.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Cook started a thing called I don't remember what's the name of the event, but he started like twice a week or something like that. No, my manager came from Mobile, Mr. Fletcher is originally from Mobile, so I guess they're friends or something. So our band becomes that band that but those events. So we were there. We went there this weekend now to do a show like we normally do. We heard that it's Beenie Man coming, but I didn't know nothing about Beenie Man because, as I said, we were concentrating on Junior Tucker, Sanchez, them type of people we are dealing with, singing type of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So Beenie Man came down to do his show with at the time with Richie B as the MC.
Okay.
So before Richie B start the show, he wanted to speak to me, which was the band leader. He wanted to know little details about the band. So I started telling him what the band name and what we did, just come from Japan, Mexico, blah, blah, blah. But when I finished talking to him, he said to me that he don't like the band name, which was originally.
Mm-hmm.
He said don't like the name. So I said, what do you mean I like the name? So yeah, man, you don't like the name too long. The name not sound like a band.
Mm-hmm.
Want a shorter word and a way they must say it, you know? So meanwhile, I stand up and talk to him, being the type of person he is, I start think same time. So I'm coming from cayenne, I'm coming from hot peppers, you know, coming from original heat, them heap of name, eat there. So I'm just saying in my head, said the best thing to name this one is Blades. So I turned to him and I said to him, what do you think about Blades? And he said, yeah, man, that is the name. That is the name. That sounds better than original heat. So I said, all right then, Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
You see me? Come and say, oh, the DJ, I want to go back tonight, a fire DJ and so. Yeah, the right name that. I think that's the right name for you guys. You know, Richie B. So, all right, cool. So we did the show. The show was off the chain. It was like crazy. Like I felt like I'm Derrick Barnett because I get the chance now to do all of them stuff. I'm Mr. Derrick Barnett to do more. I like me I put on my face for my head and crazy things. Place and done. You know what I mean? So when we finished now, Beenie Man came to me and he said, basically I want to back. So I said, we're not about nobody still with a freelance band, you know, we work with anyone who call me. And the man said to me, say, all right, you have one. And I look at band, you know, and I said, tonight, you know, I think you're my band, you know. You're my band. So I said, yeah, cool. The man said, you know, it's my number here, you know. Can link up, man, you know. And him gone for him ways and we gone for yeah. When me and my manager drive up from Obi, you know, I come up in the car. Them not talk to him and him no know, so them talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I turned to him and I said, Mr. Fletcher, you know, say DJ check me. DJ check you. I say, yeah man, him check me. Him say, him want for being backing band. Mr. Fletcher turned to me and said, well, I told you. Junior Tucker, Sanchez, them man they have to think about. Them little DJ for foolishness, they're not going nowhere. Don't think about that DJs up there.
Mm-hmm.
Think about Sanchez, Junior Tucker. That are this big man manager said to me. Me just quiet now, because I said, that man, I've post my bubble, you want to give it to me hard. But in myself, knowing who me is, yes, I say, you can't go and talk where you talk, say. You know, me never feel a way with Junior Tucker and Sanchez. Yeah, when time we are, me never feel the energy. Me, I look forward to this Beenie Man something. Yeah, so, but then I come to town and normal business as usual. Me get a call from Patrick Roberts. Said, yo, I don't know what I do to the DJ, no, but the DJ said, only him want film band, you know.
Mhm.
Just come in, I'm at 56 Life Road, come and get a roller, sit down and say, sure. Jump in a little car, I'm going to whoop and drive go down, man. By about 5 minutes, what I read me. What the band, not being a man band. Yeah. So we work with Beenie Man for like almost 9 years without a contract because everything was really verbal. Everything just was so natural. It seemed like it wasn't even a need for a formal contract.
So, okay, what year did you actually officially connect with Beenie Man and become the backing band?
It was late. We started building Beenie Man late 92. Everything get serious like the first month in a 93. We start. This is it now.
Because
You know?
this is when Beenie Man is just about to really become Beenie
Yeah,
Man.
man. Yeah, man. Right on the early part. I'm gonna tell you this. When Beenie Man when we start work with Beenie Man, there are so much things in live music that Beenie Man didn't understand. He's full of talent, but he not understand keys, he not understand them type of something, the timing and all the band for work. And for a matter of fact, Beenie Man look at me one day and said to me that, well, I'm me the artist, you know, the band need to follow me. The man said, no, the band can't follow your DJ because if we start in the key at A, you have to remain in the key at A unless you're going to do a transpose. You know what I mean? But you can't be transposing every minute, every bar you move to something else and move to something else. And then one thing with the DJ though is a youth where listen. You know what I mean? Is a youth where will sit down with you and work it out and make him understand where the thing go. Me and Beenie Man was like, up to the day, I not see nothing like me and Beenie Man. You know what I mean? If people really know where we are come from, up to the day, there is nothing like Worm and Beenie Man on stage. You know what I mean?
You have to remember at this time here now. Remember, you're dealing with the gospel, then you're dealing with cabaret. You're going out to Japan, Mexico, States. You're doing all this stuff here. Then you came back. You're playing for Sanchez, Junior Tucker. But Beenie Man now is the one that really brought you into the dance hall realm, which
Yeah,
this is a completely different ball game you're playing, right?
totally different ball game. But what I did when I started working with Beenie Man now, remember, you know, at the time you have Buju Banton with a band, you have Shabba with a band. So you have Yellow Man with him band. You have all of these artists now started having bands.
Mm-hmm.
So I start thinking that Blaze band have to be the difference in other thing. And we're going to work with this artist. And what I started to do now, I start to bring stuff out of the hotel, the style, into the dance hall. So you'll find we playing a jazz, you'll find we playing a rock and roll, you'll find we playing a R&B beat. You know what I mean? So we start merge these things in the dance hall. So Beenie Man become this person now where in a set you will see him just stop and so start dance. You know? In film thing they just so different.
Mm-hmm.
And it all because at the time I was playing a musical director role, which I wasn't even getting paid for, which I didn't even know that's what I was doing. But I was just there and just wanting the thing to be different from everybody else.
Okay, before you even go too far, explain to me exactly what is a musical director and what does a musical director do?
Well, look, what the musical director does, you know, is all right. You will find this artist and you figure out what the artist is about. The stuff for the artist, how far him range is, you know, which key is the best key for the artist. So that was what I was doing. I was like fixing the shows, like say, okay, you're going to do this song, the first song, the next song gonna be that. We put the arrangement out, sit down in my house and work out arrangements and stuff that would get the band. Beenie Man at the time, Beenie Man hardly used to even come to rehearsal. We were just putting stuff together and fucking stuff. So the real job of a MD is really putting the show together, getting it right, getting the music, everything, the keys, them proper key and all of this. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You're here.
So we'll be having like at the time rival with Bounty Killer and Beenie Man. You will have that time you'll hear Patrick call me and say, "Well, what we had it tonight?" You get me? And I'm here the artist, you know. But you know, call me and say, "Well, what we had it tonight? What was started?" So I have to tell him, so okay, we're going to start with that and we're going to do that. And yeah, you know, so from the first 3 songs down, Patrick, everything would don't worry, everything all right. And so we used to do it. So you hear when I do a show and me I deal with something and say, "Here, baseline." You know, I call me. See, that become a part of the show. You know what I mean? Everywhere. Oh, Lord, baseline. So, yeah. So the bass becomes a part of Beenie Man whole presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it was, you know, it was magical, you know.
So when you guys had first linked up with Beenie Man was not this great performer that we know him to be today.
Well, Beenie Man has always been a great performer. I would never take that away from Moses. He has always been a great performer. But what I did when I went there is put it together. It make more sense. You know what I mean? Like, yo, yeah, man, this is what's going to be. And trust me, my youth, you're gonna done the place. You know? I remember we were doing a show and something come to me and I said to Beenie Man, say, yo, we're gonna do a tap. You know about tap dance? You know about tap dance? And he must say, tap. Yeah, I say, yeah, man. You know the thing where they pan them put them foot on the ground. I'm gonna show him it. I say, R. Kelly. Because we have come to Jamaica, you know, for a long time when we perform at Jamaica, R. Kelly, we are going to work with R. Kelly. I say, yo, DJ, what am I going to do? I'm going to just drop the mic on the ground, I'm going to step on it, and you just go at the mic. And anything I hear me do on the bass, you do it with your foot. You go, boop, 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 you just go. And him start, and as I said to you, his head is like, if you have a song, and you want your song, don't make Beenie Man hear it, because Beenie Man will just take that song and make it becomes his song. You get me? That's how him is. Him is such a talented youth where you can't play with him. You know what I mean? And when we did the tap dance thing back over Jamboree, the whole place mash up is like, you know? Yeah, it's like crazy. So, yeah, man, me and Beenie Man was like, was like a magical vibe. You know what I mean?
All right, because this is a big, huge part of what you've done. So I don't want to leave this too quick. I have some questions for you in this part here. Trust me, boss. You know what I mean? Okay, so you guys connected, you guys started to do your stuff. Bounty Killer now, because if you linked 92, him and Bounty started to get into things like 93. Right. When was the first time you guys started to hear about Bounty Killer, and how did you guys prepare to really deal with Bounty at that time there?
No, I'm going to tell you this now. Blaze Band becomes the band that every artist in that era wanted to be a part of. You understand? Every artist, include Bounty Killer. So we used to back Bounty Killer even during the same time we about Beenie Man. Because remember I told you we didn't sign a contract. So Blaze Band was really what you call it, a juggling band. So Beenie Man at the time, Beenie Man was just getting the first preference.
Got you.
So if a Capleton, we used to back Capleton too. We used to run with Capleton, we used to run with Bounty Killer. You know what I mean? Barrington Levy, Shakademos and Pliers. We used to do all about the place. But only if Beenie Man don't have a job. You get me? Until it reach a point where Patrick Roberts now starts saying, yo, no can't back nobody else but Beenie Man. Only Shaki Vibe crew. You see me? So we it start bring a vibe. It start bring a vibe that we becomes the resident band for Cactus. A Cactus it name? The club where they do about Portmore, what them name? Cactus?
Cactus, yeah, man.
Okay, so Cactus. We become the resident band for Cactus. So any artists that come work over there, we used to back them.
Mhm.
So how me get to be caught up in a Beenie Man and Bounty Killer thing now is that the night when Bounty Killer for work, Blaze Band happen for Ghana, Japan with Beenie Man. So when him come out, when him find out son of Blaze Band I go back him now, him you see me? So this is how the band caution start back in Bounty Killer. You get me? Cause when him go to Cactus now, him go up on the mic and say, hello, tell him where I'm say. When him come back here, him go up on caution. So from that day, we never really back Bounty Killer again.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, we never really back Bounty Killer again. So me start get branded now as the man who I make Beenie Man thing better than everybody else thing. So nobody else, you know. So we get a big fight in that vibe because people figure say, yo, we're work with Beenie Man and I say work with Beenie. So we know our everything in a brother. You get what I say? Yeah, man. And we had crazy. Anything Beenie Man I got through now, me I got through it. All of Beenie Man enemy then becomes my enemy.
Where was Rough Cut in all of this here?
No, man, them time the Rough Cut was really nowhere because Rough Cut was doing like what Blaze would do before, juggle with anybody. Remember, Rough Cut was with Shabba.
Shabba, yep.
Then Shabba thing they kind of calmed down, so all of the man and like them come back to Jamaica. So Rough Cut was like a band that I would see them, like I would see staff more mainly like most of our shows them. He would be like at the front stage and, you know, looking at us and stuff like that, you know. But at them time, man, it was just Blaze band. Blaze was the band. And then you have Caution, and then you did have Rhythm Kings, you know, still have Sagittarius, but was not doing Sagittarius at the time was not doing a whole lot of work here because Derrick has migrated and gone America also. And so it was really Blaze band was the talk of the town up until 2000.
Mm-hmm. You guys were doing okay. Where was the first place you guys actually flew out with Beenie Man?
Well, the first place was in Moby. That was the first meetup, you know what I mean? And then yo, I can't even tell you after that because it was so much, you know, because Beenie Man thing, this get away, brother, is like every week. Sometimes 3-4 times for the week, you have something for do. So yeah, I don't even remember. I think the next thing that we work with, the big thing that we work with him was the student union show. You know?
How was that show there?
That show was half a chain, man. Great. And then late in 93, Christmas now, when the band really got books now, where everybody ever know about Blaze Band now is when we did Sting.
You did okay. Was this so you guys were playing for the Beenie Bounty Clash, or you guys played the part where Beenie came out before?
When Beenie came out, because the Beenie Bounty Clash was at the time was Sagittarius.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. So them time that we just go out as Beenie Man unit, and then after that now then do the clash.
What was so big about that show where you guys really got your boss at Sting there?
Well, as I said from earlier out, Derrick Barnett was my idol and still is one of the greatest musicians. You know, he's still a virgin. I give all the respect, you know. And if you look a contributor come a town, it was my target was him. Straight. So when Sting was like one of the show where you're done artist and you're done band. When you go up on stage as Sting a competition, nobody feel like no man go over Sting or just do some nice thing and no. Once you reach past Sting stage, you have to show your color. You have to show who you is. So the day when my manager called me and tell me, say, yo, Sting, we get Sting, you know. I say, what? Yeah, man, we get Sting. And when we get Sting, we never get Sting on one little joke way, you know, we get Sting on a big way, because we go back like about 40 artists.
Okay, so it wasn't Beanie alone that you guys were back in that night there?
No, it wasn't Beenie Man alone. We go back the show like we do like with Derrick Barnett to that go do.
Mm-hmm.
When Derrick Barnett to that do for the role of them years, we know, so when Sting at them band that's rhythm things and Derrick Barnett them at that show that we get now where we have to be the backing band and whole host of artists. So I say, you know, I thinking of myself and I say, yo, I have to make my mark over that show there, you know. When that show is done, everybody feel talk about me. How am I going to do that? You know what I mean? Because I'm not the greatest bass player. But, yo, everybody have to talk about me. So the first thing come to my mind is that you have to go over. You can't go over there and see him close your regular rehearsal and see him close your regular market. You have to go over there in a costume vibe. So I say, all right, I'm going to boom, I'm going to go downtown. I'm going to buy a couple yard of linen, one white linen cloth there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm going to go to the tailor and explain things. Say, yo, I want a trench coat. So I'm going to buy the trench coat, I'm build the trench coat, I'm going to buy a white pants. And I buy at the time turtleneck at the top. When I wear turtleneck, you are the man. So I buy a turtleneck with white and black.
Mm.
And the neck are white and round us a pure white and black. So it look when you have it on with the white, it have a look, you know what I mean? And I had at the time I was playing a Steinberger, 5-string Steinberger. You know, Steinberger don't have no neck. I think I'm the first bass player who bring something like that come to Jamaica too. I don't want nobody quoting upon it, but I feel like that because at the time I never see it before. Me got Japan at the first time me see it with the bike. I carry it down, so it new and it pretty and it have a style and I can't roll it up and spin it and it just spin like a gig and bass style. You know what I mean? So Shabba did have one song name. I love all of the guns them. See? So me just change the lyrics them in a Shabba song now and I say, cause them tell us so we have got 15 minutes to open the show cause leng them done here so Blaze Band is a band where me sing and all them thing then, you know? So then give us 15 minutes to open the show. So when me go up and sing the night, you know, when I go up on the stage and look out and see the hip-hop people and my knee start shake. And I said, oh, you know? Anyway, me don't have a mindset say, right now, is do or die this tonight, you know. So I'm well dressed. I mean, just by walking out on the stage, the place start make noise. Play nice. I make just by the seeing me on the stage, I can me first walk out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I walk out and turn my back to the crowd and I deal with my amp and I fix up my thing them and thing and this song name I love all of the gun them now. Me and my band now we have a nice harmony thing. I would say and we just change the lyrics and say, run away all of the jokes, man. Keep your head clear and crisp. Cause if you take it you with this, then the thing will make you miss and send you down 6'6", 6'6". I will echo that and we say when we do that for it like yo. I feel like a medium Shabba. We are the crowd lift up.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, and then we're going on the rhythm now. I'm gonna say this night just yo God, the thing turned crazy. You know what I mean? And at them time that you will have like 3, 4 cameraman on stage. And the way me have gone in a brother. I did 3 cameraman there for me, you know, them time that me I run from one side of the stage to the other, bass on my head, fling down the bass on the ground, chop on it, all kind of something. Because when I say me I go out to Derrick Barnett tonight, you know. You get what I say? So, a big things, sure went down nice. Everybody loved the band, loved the thing. But when me ever feel nice now, then wake up in the morning and my manager drive come on me yard with the star and the clean and the everything and my picture me and see. When I hit with my bass and this headline, I say, watch out for the bass, man. New band in town, this, that. You get what I say? So at that, but that's everybody start talk about Blaze Band. Now Blaze Band become a household name now. Big boss, man. So Coney Park, champion in action. You name me show them. Anyway, them the Blaze Band, a Blaze Band are the last band I go on. Cause if it comes the big boss.
Remember seeing you at like Fresh, all of those shows.
Fresh. The whole of them showed it. All of them showed it. I don't know if normal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
And all this time, you had the same manager that wanted you to deal with Junior Tucker and Sanchez, or you had a
same manager, same person.
Okay. But you see how that's crazy where you had to follow your dream and you showed the manager say, see, this is what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, man. I want to say, up until today, I've never said that to him. And me and that man is still good. That man is like my father right now. Because was a bigger man to me. And him still is like my father right now. I mean, never really said that to him yet. You know what I mean? But what I know that in life, you have to know what you're worth. And you can't make nobody at all kill your dream. No matter how much you respect the person, no matter how much you love the person, could be your wife, could be your girlfriend, whosoever, you have to always follow your dream. You have to follow your dream because your dream is your legacy. What you going to make for yourself. You can't live for another man.
100% true. 100% true. The band boss now. You guys are doing things now. Tell me 3 memorable shows that you'll never forget, either local or international shows that stick in your mind forever, good, bad, or indifferent, where these shows I will never forget.
All right, 3. The one with R. Kelly in Jam World. And one of the reasons why that show was so stand out, it's because, you know, Beenie Man is always an artist where I go jaw crowd and forward and everything. But that show now, it was like a different Beenie Man. It was like a different Beenie Man and Blaze Band in terms of even the songs and the dress codes, and you know, it was more like we are performed to 100,000 people in a Paris. You understand what I say? And the way how R. Kelly was behaving toward us, you know, like he was like the top star, and then him becomes the nobody, the Beenie Man. You get what I say? Yeah, big man thing. And then the next one now is we did a festival in I think it was St. Kitts with Cisco Kid. Same name, right?
Cisco from Drew Hill.
Yeah, him sing the Tong Tong song.
Yeah, with the black.
Yeah, okay. Him. Yep. At the time, that song was #1 on Billboard. So we went to the show. It was like a 2-night event, and the 2 artists gonna perform both nights. And when we went to the press conference, he said that he won't work before Beenie Man. because the promoter wanted him to work before Beenie Man, and he said, no, him have the big song, or the disrespect them and disrespect him. So Beenie Man said, okay, no problem. We work first. And we went into the stadium and worked. When we finished work, and we drove in, when we were driving out of the stadium, everybody was driving out with us. That was the first night.
Yeah.
So he performed to the liquor riff-raff then, because he wanted to. The next night, no, he run to perform even before we reached that. Yeah.
Not tonight. We're not doing this tonight again.
Nah, so that stand out. That stand out in a me. But I have like 4 show that I know you said 3, but I'm
No,
gonna
man,
talk about
no,
4.
listen. Even if you had 5, it's okay. You just
Yeah.
continue.
So that kind of stand out. And we were on tour, and there was a club in what a place named Mirage. There was a club called Mirage Club in Ligani. And they wanted Beenie Man to come down break the tour and come do a night up there. It was during the week that we had the time, because sometime on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, we always have like day off for the on tour. So we say, okay, we fly down and do the show. And we came down and do the show the night. When we do the show, the same amount of people that was inside, they have 2 times of the same people outside. I couldn't hold, because inside they couldn't hold nobody else. So yeah, so we had was to do 2 nights. Now the second night, Richard Stevens was on that show. Richard Stevens was on the bill. Now Richard Stevens had a song at the time with Garnet Silk. Get on up, stand up, fight back. We haven't seen Garnet Silk for about a year, or probably more, because at the time Garnet Silk was like just not doing any shows. He was going through a thing and just in the hill and whatever. We didn't see him. But we are playing, not knowing that Garnet Silk was backstage as a surprise. Richard Stevens said, oh, stop the band and say him have a surprise. And Garnet Silk appear on the stage in full white. When he came on the stage, Mirage turned upside down. It's like it was so much noise. It's like it started getting deafening, you know. And he came out like an angel. He came out like humble and just walked to the front of the stage. And he stand there, and the people was just, he couldn't say nothing. The people was just making noise, and he went like this. And when he put his hand on his lip like this, if there was a pin, listen this, if there was a pin drop, you could hear it. Everybody quiet, like the noise just ceased. So that is another thing that was stand out in my career. And then the next thing now is a show we did in Japan that I was asked to open, and it was like probably about 80 to 90,000 people. And I went to the mic and I said, hello. And the crowd go back at me. Not knowing, I don't know if I hello them say, but they just come back at me. And I said, before I do anything, I want to bless the place. I want to see all the hands. And I put up my hand like this. And let me tell you this. If it's 80,000 people, probably 100 people under in the air. But say and until I can't make like it does too much hands. And then I start sing, glory be to the Most High God, all be thy name. And the whole place just start to wave. So that is like the biggest thing. I can't believe it. Is like, even when I finished, Beenie Man came to me and said, where? Oh, I just bass you play. and you can deal with the people. So, yeah. So at 13, when I said, well, Bills, Bills, things, boy, brother, I don't know it when a DJ. Some people born with it, and some people have to go to school to learn it. I'm born with it.
You just, it's in you. You know how
Yeah.
this is just
Yeah,
like,
it's in me. That's so. Yeah, we had some crazy time, man. We had some crazy time. I witnessed, I witnessed people, I witnessed people, you know, fainting, and them have to list them out of venues. People have to be taking them out. Oh my God. People have to be taking them out, taking them out, taking them out. You know what I mean? The journey between me and Beenie Man, it just stand out in my career, and you know, I don't regret a moment of it, you know, and I send all respect and, you know, praises to Moses also for the opportunity that he gave to me. You know, I don't know if I had did my album and release my album and be a solo artist, if I'll be a better, you know, a richer, whatever person right now. But whatever that was, I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world, you know what I mean? So yeah, that journey there,
Mhm.
good fact, you know.
How easy or how hard was it to really be touring with so many people? Because remember, you have the band and you have Shack and Vibes Crew. So then that's a big tour, you know, boss. How easy or how hard was it to really tour around with so many people?
We were like family.
Mhm.
That is the bit. That's the only way I can put it. We were like family, and family look out for family. So where the music is concerned, that's a given. But the part that we live together, pour together, eat together, you know, that part of it is just amazing. We were too close, you know what I mean? We were very close.
Mhm.
So it wasn't hard. It was a good fight.
Did you guys do any studio recording also, or you were mostly live shows?
At the time, the band itself was mostly live shows. I probably would be the only musician out of the band that ever going to the studio with Beenie Man. Because from a longer time, I love producing and I love the studio.
Mhm.
So there are a couple of tracks that I work on, you know, that I play, but only me as a part of the band that did that.
Do you remember which tracks they were that you played on?
Oh my God. Um, um, yeah, that song with John Baker. That's his name? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That they do a remix for. I play bass on that song. You know the song too, you know, it's go Pride and Joy. It's called Pride and Joy. Beenie Man and John Baker. Yeah. I play on that. Uh Steve Biko. I think Steve Biko. I can't remember. Couple of them. Couple of
So
them.
much.
Couple of them. Yeah. Yeah. Couple of them.
All this is going on, everything is good. When did Rastafari enter your life? Was this while you were around the Beanie Man, or this was after the fact?
No, that was before Beenie Man. Rastafari came into my life in Japan
In Japan?
because while I was in Japan now with the braid, the ear even before the ear started falling out and getting crazy, I started to read some different books. You know, start study Marcus Garvey teachings and start check out Haile Selassie teachings, and you know, it was more weed smoke, you know, more meditation, yeah, reggae band, and you know, it drawn to you, you know, that you have to start dig deep now to, because I am like the type of person who whatever I am doing, I like to go all the way in, you know what I mean? So this is where I started to study Rastafari movements now, and I say, you know, so I like that thing. Yeah. I like that thing, and then you just start get serious with it,
Mhm.
you know. So when they hear them where the ear is concerned, or when they hear them start drop out, me just leave them and start use me hand and just go and twine them now and just make them just grow and just start just as a right back up.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you see how that's even crazy. Remember, the Japanese, they wanted a band with be a Rasta man and stuff like. I don't know if this was your intention to deal with Rasta or anything before. When you got
That was definitely not. That was far away from my mind.
yeah.
No Rasta thing never in my life.
Mhm.
As I said, all my life I was either Jerry curls or balling. No, never that thing. Me that pretty boy, whole heap of chain around my neck and every finger have on a ring and them kind of energy there. You know what I mean? We never that thing about whole heap of beard and no. You know, we were conscious and we were always living righteously, you know what I mean? But we never had to think of representing Rasta like how we are doing it now, you know what I mean?
Because you remember, you're coming from a Christian background, so it was always a conscious vibe. But it
Always a
was
conscious vibe. You
how
know,
you're gonna think. Mhm.
you know, get we are do nothing out of the way, you know what I mean? And everybody love we, you know, it's like always more love than anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right there. With the thing there, I know you were involved with the How Stella Got a Groove Back soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right. How did that come around the same time when you're with Beenie Man, or this is after you left?
Yeah, that was when I was with Beenie Man also.
How did
So
that come around? Because that's a huge monster mega movie, you know, boss.
so we were on tour again, came back home and Patrick linked me and said, this is happening at the studio. You know, they flew down to do some soundtrack with Lady Saw and Beenie Man.
Mhm.
But they wanted to get a bass. They want to get a dancehall feel, sorry, of a bass playing thing.
Mhm.
So I should go down to Anchor and, you know, say no problem. Always the opportunity, you know, not telling nothing. You know, I don't even know women for the never do still.
Yeah.
So at the time I had two bass. I had my Paragon, I have my Honor, and I put the two of them in the car. I have some effects and some stuff and thing. And when I go down there, take out the bass them and carry them in the studio. I see this bridge and I sit down around the console and him introduce himself. Hi, my name is Terry Lewis. I say, yeah, man, this is Wormbass, and you know, no, this is Worm, because them time the bass not come from the thing yet.
Okay, you
Say,
didn't put bass on it yet. All right.
no, so I said, this is Worm, you know, I was sent here by Patrick Robertson. Say, yeah, man, I'm expecting you. And first thing the man short time out and say, oh, you're prepared for this, brother. So I'm like, you really mean business based, man. You really mean business. So him said, what are those? I'm gonna say that's a Steinberger, and that's I'm say, okay, we'll use the Steinberger. We start with the Steinberger. Because what I realize is that these guys, professional people, them love that kind of attitude.
Mhm.
So I present myself that way there to them where right now them not have nothing to say more than just accept what we're going. So yeah, we end up playing bass and couple of the tracks and doing background vocals also and can figure out now so I can sing and I can do background vocals also, so I end up at the bass and background vocals and things. So yeah, well, that was a wicked experience. Even working with Terry Lewis, because Terry Lewis was one of the guys I'm always a watch to, you know, because as I said, I love producing and he's a very, 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 very good producer, you know what I mean? Because what he did it to me in the studio is teach me, at that night, it taught me a lot.
Mhm.
You understand? It's the first time I realized that I can play 5 different bass lines for the same song. And this producer going to take all of these lines, cut them, put them, and put all of this now into one turn. All those 5 lines into one line. You know? I said, wow. When I listen back to it, I said, oh, this mud. You know? Yeah, so that was a good vibe. But Patrick Roberts was the one who hooked it up because Beenie Man Beenie Man was already a part of the project, you know.
So
And I was,
at the
and
base,
at the time also, I was very close to Lady Saab. Then Lady Saab create a whole heap of history in the dancehall also. You know what I mean? So me and Lady Saab was was somewhere think about.
listen, hold on. You're not gonna just bring that up and we're gonna gloss over it. Talk to me about the ladies' side. Talk to me about that part there. How do you guys?
I mean, we had a chemistry. Just like how me and Beenie Man had a chemistry on stage, me and Lady Saab had a chemistry on stage where people pay to come see.
Mm-hmm.
So like you will find promoters that is calling Lady Saab to come to the state or wherever, and they request Blaze Band a part of the thing. Because remember, those days, anything you do at Sting, it becomes the thing that you're going to do everywhere. It's everybody want the same thing. Mm-hmm. So there was this year when Lady Saab came to Sting and we were performing, and out of nowhere, she just lift up her foot and put it right across my shoulder up here. So I put the up here, so our body to me.
Yeah.
It was more like she hugged me with her foot then. So our the here, the right from my ear, and what I did, I took the bass off of my neck now and put it around her. So I'm actually hugging her back now and playing the bass. Meantime, she had do fair thing. So that was like that make the paper, that make magazine, that make everybody start. That picture go everywhere. So me and the Lady Saab become a thing where people want to sit on stage. So yeah, we had a great chemistry. You know? Big up yourself, Mariana. I respect anyway. It does go larger.
The king and the queen who you work with.
She's still my friend up to today. I mean, up to this morning, we had a long conversation. I mean, our first gospel album and our second gospel album, I was co-producer on those albums also.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. This is why I like to have these conversations, because as I said at the beginning, it's like you're like this hidden gem that once you're in the industry, but there's a lot of people outside of the industry that's heard your work, seen your work, but does not realize this is Wormbass's work right here.
That's true, man. That's true. You know, sometimes between me and brother, sometimes it feel like a design, but we don't try to even think about them things, because as I said, I always tell people, say my journey in the music is not about fame and money, and I think my thing is just to make a mark, to make a difference that some people can benefit from it. I have a song when I say, if I have one soul, we're not come to save the world, but I have one person, you know what I mean? So sometimes we still want to, the industry that make us feel like we not do anything. Mm-hmm. It that make us feel like we're not worthy. But it's a thing where we just can't give up. We have to just keep working.
Keep working and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You and Beenie Man linked up, you and Shocking Vibes linked up, did some amazing things. When did things start to get shaky, or what happened while you guys stopped playing for Beenie and Rough Cut came in?
Well, I told myself that I don't want to really talk about the whole thing with me and Beenie Man and the breakup and these things. I never talk about it yet. A lot of interviewers ask me the same question you asked me. Mm-hmm. I'm just love it and just tell them, say, Asian history, you know what I mean? Because me, myself, up to today, I can't really even understand, what went down that I can't even put a story to it. You get what I say? I just know that we went to an event and something got on between my manager and his manager, which was Clyde Mackenzie at the time, was a part-time management. Mm-hmm. And the band just get caught up in all of that. Well, I'm personal to say, as long as Blaze Band is, Blaze not going to back Beenie Man again. and until me dead blaze with never about Beenie Man again. Them kind of something that so it just is never right. What went down was unfair, and we just don't want to talk about it, cause we don't want to go into that kind of negative flow there. You know what I mean? Me and Beenie Man good up until today. Beenie Man was on my album, Reggae Man,
We're
as I
gonna get
guess
there. We're gonna get there. Don't worry.
we don't have no animosity, and we just don't want to bring up that kind of energy there because is something that can't even explain. Some of them things come like I just designed to me, cause more while if you have something where everybody wants, everybody a talk about it, everybody a run it down, everybody a say, boy, John no star, I wish I me did it so. And it can just break up so easy. That means it's a design.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's a design. Me and DJ me never tell the DJ say I'm irate and he never tell me say I'm irate yet.
Mhm.
You get what I say? So it's just a
Sometimes it's something bigger
yeah,
than the actual people that's
that
involved. It's other people.
other people. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just take it with a smile and just say the part of the journey. And as me just tell it, say, me give thanks to all of that experience. You know what I mean? Everything we go on there, so it was just a joy for me.
Okay, so then without you said you don't really want to get into that part there. How about this then? How did this make you feel when all of this happened there? Because remember, you're doing all this wonderful stuff, you're going all these things, doing all this. How did it make you now feel as Wormbass when this whole breakup happened, bro?
Yeah, man, I was distraught, man.
Mhm.
It's the first time my kids have ever seen me cry.
Hmm.
Because it was unexpected. I mean, that happened like the Tuesday, and I was supposed to leave to Europe on a tour on Thursday. So my suitcase and everything was packed. You know what I mean? Everything was there to go. You know what I mean? So when all of them things that happened, it hurt, man. It hurt. Me not gonna tell you saying it hurt.
Mhm.
It hurt me. But me's the type of person who bounce back quickly. It's like he my wife always said to me, say, yo, you take things, everything you take with a smile, everything a joke to you. Because me's a person who, me not gonna make you keep me down.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Me not gonna make you keep me down. And I when wife spoil on my mouth, me not call you and tell us that, say, I'm hungry, you get me? Because you know, if I have nothing at all over me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But me can tell you, yeah, it hurt. Because we are human beings. And we were actually setting a legacy. We were setting something that, we could live off of for the rest of our life. That was my aim. This is why I walk away from my own personal career, because this is where I say, okay, I'm going to invest my time and energy and everything in it to make it be the greatest thing. I talk about Beenie Man was at the time was we when we work, man, you find Puff Daddy, you find White Cliff, you find every time we go to New York, all of them, the toppest artists, them they behind backstage, One night White Cliff jump from the bus and him drive with it to walk to Seattle, Washington before he come off of the bus and in New York him living up there.
Yeah.
And I work him, I work with I just reason and just the whole fight. You know what I mean? And Puff Daddy first shirt, Sean John shirt, them first come out, him send me my personal package. Yeah, him send me a Beenie Man card, come give me to.
Mhm.
Because at that time, he stopped work with Beenie Man. And him go foreign and the man bring my package to him and say, yo, make sure it's a work get this.
Mhm.
Because we name and the style and everything where we bring to the thing. So we really was building something where we never expect. I was when we're dead.
Mhm.
Or we get injured or something. That's because we live like a family.
Mhm.
So we don't expect that to happen. But when it happen, we not cry. We not drop and say we're dead. We bounce back.
Did the band break up at this time here, or you guys continued on doing your thing after?
We continue because right away after Beenie Man thing done 2000, late down in 2000, now we create a tour, Blaze Band tour, which the first tour that we did it with Sean Paul, Lady Song, ARP, the group ARP, and Amy Winan. That tour was Blaze Band tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did about 4 weeks out the road with that. I mean, Sean Paul has never done a tour like that. Him and Vegas had a big song at the time.
Mhm.
Vegas was touring in a caravan while we were touring in a big tour bus that Blaze put on.
Mhm.
You understand? But then again, financial wise, when we go out on the road, things get crazy because people start out some more money than what them bargain for and stuff like that. So we just did that one thing and never go back.
Mhm.
But all that again was something that we were trying to set that we had, like we won't tour. You know? And then after that, now we started touring with doing more show now with Chakademos and Players and Barrington Levy and where we gone back to the group now where everybody want to call we until it take time start go apart because my interest start change. Me can't bother the disrespects and me start think different.
Because as you said earlier, because remember, if you guys are Beenie Man's band at that time, any enemies or any bad vibes or anything that's not too right is going to fall back on you guys. So even after you break up, the same vibes is still there. Because remember, the names you just told me are not hardcore dancehall acts. This is more
No.
to the singing you're gone now. You know what I mean?
Gone right back to the scene. Yeah, because Blaze Band was that kind of band. It's an all-rounder band because remember, all the Blaze Band members are working in the hotel.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we know different style of music and our thing. It was easy for us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's one thing before I get out of this situation that I forgot to bring up for you. I know that you modeled for French Vogue. When did that come up in your career?
That happened. I think it was before. It was after I came back from Japan.
Mhm.
Yeah, that happened. That again was an experience again. I mean, yeah. The first Jamaican male that modeled for French world, that's I. But the thing is, I don't know if that is my downfall.
Mhm.
I don't highlight things. I barely talk about things, and I do things and some other things. Some people that run with and make up a whole heap of noise with it. I just make it go on. You know what I mean? So probably now, even this interview, people are gonna say, when just said, yeah, because that's something we really publish and talk about, and yeah, but it was a good vibe. And even when I was in Japan, I used to model also.
Okay.
I used to do finger model. Though they would just fix up my hand with all kind of jewelry,
Mhm.
and if they're selling this phone, I would be the one who have it on my neck or whatever, anything, bottle, perfume, whatever. I used to do that. Made a lot of money from that also.
And that was just a side hustle, quickly.
That
You
was
didn't
just a
even go with
side
that
hustle.
intention.
First, a lady came to the club one night and saw me playing, and she said to me, would you think about doing some finger modeling? That at the time I don't even know what you're talking about. She said, your fingers are very sexy. They look very nice. I could do wonders with those fingers. So I said, okay. She said, okay, let's do it. I said, sure. And we just start doing that. There's a big business at Japan.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's so crazy there, boss. You did your stuff now. Okay, you guys went with Beenie Man. That didn't work out. You guys did your tour, came back. The band now started to basically fall apart. So what was your next move now as Wormbass to really establish yourself back into the business?
So as I said, we used to travel with Barrington Levy, Chakademos and Players a lot, like Africa, Canada, all over the place. We'd go with them. So this show was in Canada. and I went to Canada. When we went to the airport, when I came out to the airport now, the limousine came, but it couldn't hold all of us. So I said to the promoter, I said to me, say, come ride with me, man. I said, sure, no problem. I'm just going a theme van. So while we in a van, I go back at the airport, I go to the hotel. Him said to me, say, him have a company. And him a look a production manager for your company. If I would be interested, I'd never been a production manager. At the time when him say production manager, I kind of not even to understand when really I talk about, you know. But him say, well, yeah, we can try it and see what can go on, you know. Yeah, see what can go on. So what you really want me to do? And him said to me, say, yo, I just want you to come in and work in the studio and work on the production them and, you know, help with the producing. And I say, okay, at that. All right, sure, no problem. So that becomes now my next venture into the music business, where it's a different style I'm going in now, because I'm going to live in the studio now. I'm not on stage no more. You know?
And this is with Explorer.
That with Explorer recording. Yeah. So we start.
You were based in Jamaica or based in Canada at that time there?
Well, I was going back and forth. As I used to spend a lot of time in Canada, like 6 months or 7 months, you know. I used to live over in Jane and Finch. I have my own apartment and everything, and, you know. Yeah. So I stayed there for a little while, you know. Go out some crazy work also. At the time, I was working with also. I had an artist that I was venturing into management and production with him. So I actually bring him over with me. So whatever I'm doing in Canada, he becomes a part of it, and, you know, build a nice relationship with him, create an album, and go on to explore a thing, kind of die out also, and still I work with him. I build my company, and one day him just called me and said to me, say, he want to have a sit down with me. Him say, I come in, him come, and him said to me, say, some woman approach him and they want to do some work with him, but they don't want to they don't want to work with me. Straight up. Some say, what if I show you my contract that I have with you? Because from you come to me, consider that means there's something you think about for doing it. So if me show you my contract, I had a production contract with him and also a management contract. So I said, if me show you that, would we still be friends? Would we still work together? And he boiled on him head, so. And him head now come up. So I just said to him, say, all right, brother, no, sorry, man, what do you think? So that was the parting with him. You know, Explorer. Man, the owner of Explorer was still good. We still, you know, but now it's like, we leave alone again. You know?
Because I know when you were at Explorer, one of the bigger songs that you guys produced out of Explorer, I think that time there was a Marvia Providence. Hear My Cry, O
Lord, yeah. Yeah. And we did a complete album also, Back Off the Wall with Shaka Demas and Plan. That has been released.
This was in 2005 you guys did that.
Yeah, 2002, I think 2005, 2006, somewhere there. And also an album with Everton Blender also.
It's My Time.
Right. And we did an album with Blessed also.
Yes. But that was a reggae time.
Yeah. Yep. And then we did some songs with Frankie Wilmot, but the album didn't come out. For some reason, the album never released. Steve Knight also, you know.
Congos.
Yep.
Apache Indian.
Yep. You know what's going down. We did a research, eh? Yeah, man. So we did a whole lot of work. Plus we did events too. So we went to South Africa with a show and stuff like that.
I remember talking about that. I remember there was a show you guys did in Toronto. This was headlined by Barrington Levy. Kiprich
Yeah,
was on the show, and the
yeah,
Explorer artists were on the show. My brethren Generalus, he was on
yeah,
it. Blessed was on it. There
yeah.
was enough of them that was on. It was at this place named Luxor out in the
So,
west end that you
so,
guys did.
so that show was the same time when we met, when I met up with Ed.
Got you.
Yeah, so that was what bring the whole Explorer worm together. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Big
yeah, man. So from Explorer now, we came back to Jamaica and go deep now into the production.
Mhm.
So I started a company called Jabbert New Limited, and I started to record different acts. You know, a lot of the songs them didn't get the chance to come out, and the reason was that because I was concentrating so much on this artist prophecy,
Mhm.
I was reluctant by putting out the rest of the artists because I wanted to get his album out first and get him out before I started to do the various artists coming energy.
Mhm.
You know, now after like about 8 years, that never worked out. Left alone again. I went to my bed one night and I dreamt that I was performing to a crowd and singing a song, you know?
Mhm.
I wake up out of the dream and just grab the phone and sing down what I could remember from the dream. And when I woke up in the morning and listened to what I was singing, it was like, no, this is not real. You know, this is crazy because the song said, who changed the plan? Who is the one who changed the plan? I wanna know who is the one. Everything was going on fine until you came along. You came and mess up things now. It's slipping out your hands. But if you are the sheriff, Lord, I'm gonna shut you down. And if you are a crazy ballad, I'm running you out of my town. Hey, nah, nah. So what? What is, you know? Because it basically sound like it referring to my situation that I'm in now. Who changed the plan? So, yeah, the others. So I got excited. And at the time, Teresa, Sweetie was my musical she used to be our publicist.
Mhm.
So I called her and I was explaining to her what happened, you know, and she said to me that, you know, we're probably now is the time for you to step out on the front line,
Mhm.
you know. Probably at that the Almighty has said to you, go out there and do the thing. And I said to her that no, I'm not interested into that. I'm gonna find the next artist and bring them again because we can do that,
Mhm.
you know. Anyway, some time passed and the idea did it, but we're not paying no mind, you know. And she called me and said to me that um the Canada, the Toronto Star editor is coming to Jamaica to do cover Rebel Salute. And he wants like somebody to pick him up at the airport and to shop around with him. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Not doing anything right now, so we can do that. So I went to pick him up at the airport. On my way over, he said to me, into Kingston, he said to me that he wants to go into the studio, Tough Gang. So, you know, I had my brethren working in Tough Gang, so it would be, for me, it'd be easy to line up and visit like that, you know what I mean? So I said to him, sure, no problem, we could do that. Anyway, when we keep driving and him said to me that, you know, I don't really just want to go and look, you know, I want to see the studio operate. I want to take pictures and do stuff with the studio. And I say, oh yeah. Then I start think about it. Same time, my head start run wild again. I start think about it and I say, all right, put some people together. I can do that. Put some people together and say studio again.
Mhm.
So this is now where Wormbass is going to birth now. You know, I will go into the studio, we did the song, the plan. That was the song.
Yes.
You know, Daniki was in the studio at the day, and Lenaman was in the studio also with me. And Daniki turned to me and said, boy, I'm a surprise, my virgin. It's like, if you get 3 more songs like this, you not have to sing a next song for the rest of your life. You know? So that motivate me and just make me feel like, say, well, I'm an artist then. You know? So from there, so no turning back. That's the soul. That's where Wormbass birth. And that's how Wormbass start concentrate on Wormbass now. And now, but I'm produced an artist. I'm just me I deal it straight every day now.
So
You know
what
what I mean?
what did you end up doing with that album that you had recorded, the first album that you had recorded?
You know, so that album is still in my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that album. I have the album on reel to reel, 24 track tapes,
Mm.
and I have it on that tape.
Yeah.
And also I see we never do nothing to it. It's still here. I have a video for the Stop That Train there was a song called Stop That Train. I wanna wait on. That was a lead track for the album. So we did a video for it. I still have the video, never shown, nobody don't know that video. I still have that video. And I have all of the tracks them say a well produced album, cause Barrio here play. And most of the tracks them play also play instrument and them real guidance, perfect album. But I didn't do anything to it. I'm thinking one of these days I'm going to just put it out.
Put it out as like the last album. Like when people usually
Yeah.
put out a lot of albums and then there's one body of work people have never heard before.
Never heard.
It's
Yeah.
the last album.
I think one of these days I'm just gonna just say, release this album. But yeah, man, but it's still here and have great tracks on it. I also have a track on it called Diamonds and Pearls that I redo from Prince. Cause Prince is like my favorite artist.
Okay.
You understand? So yeah, I have a redone of Diamonds and Pearls, Stop That Train. And I also have a track on it called War and Crime, where when I'm looking at what's happening now, it was like I was seeing this from now. What's gonna happen today? So I listen to my tracks and it's like you was way ahead of your time, yo. Yeah, because even the plan become the pandemic. That song is from 2015 or 2014 released 2015, but when you listen to the plan now, it's relevant like it's today, like the whole pandemic and the whole thing it talk about. It talk about camera on every corner. It talk about border. It talk about all of these things. Puppet master. It talk about all of these things that is happening now.
It was a vision you got, and remember, you didn't say that you sat down and wrote the song.
No,
in a dream.
I want to tell you this. Most of my songs, them I saw them coming in.
Yeah.
So really, of a fact, I am not the writer of most of my songs. My songs, them are the Almighty write them give me. I am really just a messenger. I am just really sending out the message. So my song, them really, that's why I hear them sound. So them might come from a different place. Yeah, they might come from a different place, my brother. It's serious and not like a joke thing.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my songs, them are in my sleep, me get them. Mm-hmm. I don't write song. I don't have no song that me write out. It just come them forward. It just forward from everywhere.
The energy, you understand?
Yeah,
even that same song, The Plan, it's a real heavy bass, rubber dub, real reggae sounding, but rolled into your album, Reggae Man.
Yeah, Reggae Man. Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with this Reggae Man album now?
Well, after I did, you actually, the plan The Plan is not the first song that I recorded for the Reggae Man album.
That wasn't the first.
I should say that. The Plan is not the first song.
Mhm.
The first song that I recorded, but I recorded the song, but I wasn't thinking of being an artist and singing it and whatever. I just recorded it. I was working at a studio in Kingston, called Kings of Kings. You know, that was
Highly dreaded them.
highly dread. Yeah. He had a studio, so I got the opportunity to be the production manager for that whole vibe. So I was there every day working, and the whole thing came up with Dodos, and we were behind the stage, behind the studio. And there was this big mango tree where we always sit down around there daytime, and that's the reason. So we were reasoning about the whole vibe with Dodos and how the police, them are treated and the whole thing. And we had this big conversation about 15 people, like out of the 15 people, about 10 artists, real artists. And when we finish, everybody walk away. Yo, where we see and everybody gone, and we had the engineer, and me and the engineer and the next virgin left back. I'm still there, I said to himself, gloves and skirt, look on the big conversation that we have. And none of them artists are come up with a song out there. I said, so them time that I used to write a lot. I used to write a lot of songs for different artists.
Okay.
So I said to him, I said to the engineer, Mikey, say, yo, me have a song, I come out to that song with it, come go build the rhythm. So we go in at the studio, fly up the board and turn on the studio, in the studio and we start work. I tell him, because I have everything in my head, just a pour out like a river. And I say, yo, make the drum sound, so yeah, I play the bass, this and I play and get the rhythm done. Call Dalton Brownie. Dalton Brownie come in playing guitar and rhythm set. And me just go around there and just sing the song, bring back the paradise. The paradise, bring back the paradise. Marcus Garvey bring the message and Bob Marley come bless it and Peter touch him set it and why you wanna wreck it and I just like what son? So whoa, that song up what? So I had that song record and just have it on the system and I'm not paying no mind and so I wait for the right artist to come. So I say, yo, do that song here. You understand? So no. That song that about itself, me not pay no mind. Because them time me I work with Prophecy. So me not think about to be a singer. But me not give Prophecy bring back the paradise. Because that was the theme style. So we just have them song there and I say, well, when the right man come through, we just play that demo your theme and make him hear that thing and we just mash it up. So then we go so boom and do the plan. You know, we go so do the plan. Then we go so boom. And remember bring back the paradise now. Then we say, woman, I'll fly up and bring back the car. Artists may go be now, you know. So me I look song now. I have a plan song, me. I have bring back the paradise so me do from them long time. So we bring it up back now and say, but that song is bad. So we send the song now, go mix the song. And the song mix and come back and the song bad and I play it in my car and I play it in my car and me do it out King's Plaza and Red Rose. Drive up and him said to me, say, boom, you know, say, me just come from up a Beenie Man. Are you them up there talk about the whole evening that you name we up there with one and so I said, what go on? And the man I say, yo, the DJ is a reminisce on some days where your name used to far and way. And I say, so where him there now? Him up there? And him say, yeah man, him up there man. And me just say, I check him now. Me never check Beenie Man for the whole time I Beenie Man fought. Me never go check Beenie Man or nothing, you know.
Okay.
This is the first time now me ever check back Beenie Man. You understand? I'm going to drive, go find place and come out of my car and the man just say, no, me never see you, you know. No, me not big excitement. So I go to him and I say, DJ, what go on? And I say, yo, Diamond, good to see you, my brother. I say, you know, say, me have a song I want you to do a verse on it for me. And I say, what? You have a song? And I say, yeah, man, me have one song I want you to do a verse on it for me, man. And I said, don't say a word, man. Tell you what, you see next week Tuesday, come back, come check me the same time here. Next week Tuesday. And I saw I go away, because me, you know, so me, as I tell him, he's not a man with Terry, meaning the crowd thing and them something there. So I go jump back in my car and go away. Next week Thursday, I make sure I'm there at the same time. So I went back, go in the studio. He was in the restroom, and then brother knocked the door and say, "Yo, where am I coming up?" And him shout from out of the bathroom and say, "Yo, just clear up the studio and where am I soon come?" And say, "Clear up the studio." And I remember saying, "Man, I do him dub flip, then I do it for much him sound, man, you know." When me reach the man, just take out everybody out back out of the studio and say, "Yo, come here, what you say?" "Oh, it's song, I'm going to put in the song." I also had a verse written for him.
Okay.
So when him come, him listen to when I write down to him because I demo it and everything and it there and him listen to it and him say, him going at the mood and attempt it a little bit and then say, "Yo, John was star, you know, so nah the year verse though, and the thing I want upon this, I have to write my whole thing." You know, the virgin of me and him for where me and him go up, you know, him look for me and guys, she have a face turn funny cause I want my song to certain in a certain kind of way. So the virgin look for me and said, "Where am I find calf Beenie Man, calf man it a Beenie Man." Don't worry about it. Anything at all, him said, just work with it. I'm sorry, Eugene, I'm sorry, man, do it. And he just comes, so this is the love that me birth. Jamaica, me lead from a company here. Me no matter how much of the money want to work. Me get a visa to go to America to work. Come back home and party like dirt. Me see girl in a pants and shorts and skirt. Jamaica, real paradise pan earth. So me tell him, I say, that was not at all of me think about. That wasn't interesting at all. That wasn't when me think about none at all. Boy. You want an AJ, anything I said. But and you just do it effortless. And me take my song and me just cut same way and me I tell us, you know, it's just a good vibe. The song come out to be one of my biggest song then.
Because you see that song, what I like with it, it's a reggae song, yes, but it's a reggae song like how Third World would have done reggae, that big type of sound to it.
Yeah, man. I have to give enough ratings and praises also to Steely. I mean Clevey, because he was the one who took the song now and bring it to a next level in terms of how he mix it. You know what I mean? And him add some little fandangles in it to and turn it into this big mega thing now, like a house mixed with dancehall, and you know you can't sing like up the Charlie. You can't sing that on it. The Peter Todd song you can't sing. Now that we found love, can do all of that kind of energy that for it. So it's just a summary. Me just love it. You know what I mean? Me just love it. I'll never get the opportunity to perform it live with Beenie Man, but I know that the time will come. But I studied it for it, so I can do it just like him. You know what I mean? So every time I'm performing it, man, it's just one of the songs that I'm set where I just look forward to perform to.
Big song there. And your actual lead single off of the album was Reggae Man. This is another one that has that big reggae sound. It reminds me of something like Inner Circle. Bad Boys type.
You see, you're not easy. You're not easy. You, I'm afraid of you. Yeah, I'm afraid of you, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, so this is why I named it. That's why I call it Reggae Man, Tina, because all right, to me, you know, I see myself like a person who absorb reggae, like me like a reggae sponge. You know what I mean? So all of these reggae music and them international reggae and the big artists, them and everything, me know the whole of them. I'm study the formula. You get what I'm saying? So I'm saying, if I am going to be an artist, I don't want you to brand me as a bass player that is trying to do something. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want when you hear my album, you're supposed to say, well, this man I sound like he might sing for 40 years ago. I love this thing. So I start on the level they say when I put out my song them for have that kind of vibe there. So you can't say, boom, God, this sound like a bad boys may I listen to. Or this sound like, you know? You can't carry it on lower than that. It have to up there, high up in the ear like everybody else. So yeah, you're right. That's the song that I was thinking about. That's the song I was thinking about when I was creating Reggae Man.
when you listen to it, it has its real big body again, where you could tell this isn't just a little small production. It's
No,
big and sound. It has that big sound to it. You understand?
yeah, yeah. And then the next thing now, I tell myself that without a company behind me,
Mhm.
and I have to be finding money to all of my production, I am not going to compromise my sound. So this album, Reggae Man, took me about 6 years to complete, you know. And how Reggae Man come to is a lot of favors. Like I'm on the call me in the studio say, yo, man, come play a bass line for me. How much you charge? I say, well, I charge 2 bills to the line, but not pay me. Just give me that and give me that. I saw my album come through. You know what I mean? You find say man I'll pay a musician to play for my song because him have the favor there for me. You get me? So that man book 3 hours and him only the two. I'm gonna say, all right, don't pay me, just give me that 1 hour there. I'm gonna take that over there and record something for my album. So my album come through that kind of energy there. You get me? And my album have the top of top people on it. Steven Stanley, all kind of people mix my album. You know what I mean? It's no joke, but it's my own money, just from me. It's no company. And this is why, again, for this album that I'm currently working on, it's taking a while to because you don't know the pandemic coming, no work, not going nothing. So, but me not compromise. Me not take up a little computer and knock up one little thing and say this is the album. No. It have to
But
be real.
you're a musician. You would almost feel bad, like you'd be cheating yourself
Yeah.
by doing the shortcut, because you're a bona fide musician.
But you have musicians who do that. You have people who hustle the thing and sell out the thing and say, this I represent the thing. But me can't do that. If me I could do it, it have to be that thing the way everybody I go feel it and say, yo, trust me. I don't know man, something this. No, it can't be normal. From me, Balvinite, it cannot be normal.
Big right there. The album came out. It was 2015. The album came out. How did it do, or how is it even still doing to this day?
But this album is still new as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
This album is still new and Africa just start pick it up.
Okay.
Let's put it like this. Certain people, certain places. I mean, the other day a girl in England do a blog on the same song, The Plan, and she wrote, oh, brand new song from Wormbass, song of the time, and wait. She don't even do her research and she said, this song was released from 2015. But it just know she get it. You get what I say? So the album for me, this is one of the reasons why I don't do a next album yet too, because Reggae Man to me still not do nothing yet. You know?
You're still working the album.
Yeah, it's still working. I'm still working it. There's people who millions of people still don't hear me sing it.
Mm-hmm.
So the album is still waiting. It's like Earth I Run Red with
Richie Spice.
Spice.
Mm-hmm.
For 14 years after releasing it, it becomes the hit song. So that's how me look for my music. My music is not for die. My music is for live. So to answer your question, Reggae Man is doing well and still doing well. You know what I mean?
Very.
Yeah.
Because I know this right here, this is a monster. You linked up with a collective called Inna the Yard. All right.
Yes.
This is with like 17 artists, musician, everything in it. Judy Moore, Ken Booth, Jad Nine, Kiddas I, so many of you guys, Horse Andy, so many of you guys. How did you guys come up with this collective here? Because that's wild altogether.
All right. So a couple of years ago, Winston McAnuff, with a company in France, did a collaboration with China Simit and I can't remember all of these guys, but the same Cedric Maitan and Kidosai and Kush McAnuff. So they did that. 2008, before that, 2008, I did a tour with Winston McAnuff in France, the Nostradamus tour.
Mm-hmm.
And China Simit was the guitarist in the group that we were touring with at the time. So what they would do before McAnuff come out with the big band, they would make China Simit do like a 15-minute set with his acoustic guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that bird in the yard. that was where the idea come from. Like, whoa, this can work, because it used to work. Like with this one man out there, homegrown in my backyard, and and the whole place had done. You get me? So them decided, okay, them will put this thing together. I didn't have it in my head no time at all that I was going to be a part of that, because that was not my kind of vibe at the time. See me? But we did the tour, the reggae tour, the Nostradamus tour, and it was successful and everything was good. And then Bill in the yard, they didn't call me to play bass. There was other bass player and everything doing them thing. Anyway, she not see me and the company. It seemed like the fallout. So they've started farming some different people with the same name in the yard. Farm them band again. I wasn't a part of it either, you know. But Winston McAnuff always keep a link with me. So the people they came down from France now to do the Inner the Yard album. Winston McAnuff Dave to record now. Him say him don't want the bass player from the Inner the Yard to do film thing. Him want me to come do film thing exclusively. So I went and do his thing. Now when I do his songs, well, about 3 songs I saw he was gonna do on the album, and I did his 3 songs, actually put them together, like telling musicians what to play and whatever. Working like that, like, you know? The rest of artists, them get jealous. And every artist now want me to play for them song, which even song with them play already. So I was like, no, man, I can't do that, man, because, you know, no don't want nobody do that to me. Me no don't want nobody, you know? So few of them, me play back for them and get my money and I go on my business. Now I think about in the yard again. That for me, that was just like a one-off thing I'm going to do as a bass player. I was in Connecticut and I got a call from the company in France. Wormbass, how would you be interested in coming to do a tour with Inner the Yard? So I said, tour with Inner the Yard. They want to do Inner the Yard bass player. At the time, I know the youth. Not knowing any story, don't know what happened to them or anything. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on. So the guy said to me that them having some kind of issue with him, but they need somebody to finish the tour and whatever. Not telling me what the problem is or anything. So I said, I turned to my wife and I said, yo, so he said. And she said, well, I'm going to deal with it, man. Oh, yeah, so I'm going to deal with it. So I'm going to go, so boom, I'm going to go over there. Now, when I got there, do a couple of rehearsals and ready, the man came to me and said he wants to play back the album. You see me? So me end up playing back the album. Every bass line with the other bass man that play, me end up playing them, play back them over in my style, my thing, change up some of them and whatever. So that just get bigger and bigger and grow and grow and grow. Everybody just love Worm and it does more and more and more and more and more, you know? Till we end up doing a movie, documentary, and I just since this last year, everything just died on because the whole COVID issue and thing. We went 2019 and do the promotional tour for the movie. We need to go now 2020 to done the place, you know. And the whole pandemic came and just mess up all of that. Right now, I don't even know where it stands, but yeah, well, we have a movie out there now and anything can happen. Any game can play.
Because I know it showed in like Canes and those places, and in the trailer, you're actually the first person you hear speaking in the trailer.
Yeah. So where the movie is concerned now, where them call this big magazine company in America there. Rolling Stone. Yeah, Rolling Stone vote me as the best punchline So it becomes the trailer. It becomes a punchline for the trailer and everything, you know what I mean? Some countries have diamond, some countries have pearl, but we have reggae music. So them figures are saying that is one of the biggest thing ever says. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something now. All right. I was in Connecticut and we were on tour and they told us that we're gonna come down and shoot this movie. But basically the movie is around Ken Booth, Winston McAnuff, Cedric Might, and the artists them. We are the supporting actor. We're gonna play and stuff. Excuse me. So the manager said to me that they're not going to need me until a certain time. So I'm just in Connecticut and just waiting until that time come that I can get to come down and do the music part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then a friend of mine called me, the Raja, big up yourself, called me and said to me, sir, you know, I come down. The man, them I interview the whole of we, you know, the man, them I come at everybody yard and I can go all about and I interview you. Only you alone I get interview yet, you know. I mean, I say, what you say? I say, yeah. Only you alone. Only you alone, the man them not talk to yet. So I say, all right then, me go come. So I go to my book a flight and come to Jamaica. I come to Jamaica like about 2 days before I was actually supposed to be here. I came in like about 2 days before the time. So I went up to the place where they at and I was talking and I said, King, you left me out of the thing and wow, I'm not a part of the yard. Wow, I'm just a guest here or something. Well, no, I do this, I'm not involved. So the one of the brothers said to me, sir, Mr. Overlook, I don't even understand why you're in it or whatever. So he bring me to the director now and I said to the director, I say, yo, Mr. Sharp, Peter Weber or something like that his name is. And I say, Mr. Weber, you know, I say, we overlook the bass man and him not getting an interview. And the man turned to him and tell him, say, yo, I'm sorry, man, but I got enough interviews. I don't need any more interviews. Right in front of me. I feel so bad and I feel hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I hold my composure and just ease myself and I said, George, I see all you doing anything I said, you know. So the first day, the first day of the recording, when I go to the recording, they had the cameras them set up on this bridge and I have the camera. I see the director going and he is come and watch him, because me feel like me left out. So me I watch him and I see him going at the man ears and say something. And when he walk, the man turn the camera around and just put it for me. And for the whole day, the camera on there for me. If me get up and I go to the bathroom, the man get up, because French people, let me know what I'm saying. If me get up and I go to the bathroom, the man get up and come out the bathroom with me. Anything me I eat, the man have the camera upon me, so me I say, wow, go on. Anyway, the night when I was going home now, the same manager you would call me and say, yo, Rem, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing, but the man said, the director said, him have to have an interview with you. I say, what? The man say, yeah, him say him have to interview you. Then I said, the man did done say him not on spot for interview, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, all right, at St. Thomas, me come from, I want it up on my yard. My original yard at St. Thomas, because I don't care everybody go to Portland, I don't care go to Westmoreland, I don't go everywhere, so I have to come on my yard. So I said, St. Thomas. The man called back and say, man, say, he can't go to St. Thomas. He will interview me, but he can't do it at St. Thomas. So I say, all right then. I don't forget about interview thing, man. Everything good. I get mad, you know? Mm-hmm. I say everything good. But meantime, I drive in my car and the thoughts are coming on me. And I say, I call Mr. Francis, Roy Francis, own mixing lab. Mm-hmm. And I say, Mr. Francis, you know, there's some people that come from foreign and do a little thing and they want to interview me. I think I could have do it in your studio. And the man say, oh yeah, sir, man, you know, sir, mixing lab, we have family, a year place to man, just tell me what time I'm when. Mm-hmm. So same time, I'm excited, and I'm calling back and I say, okay, tell him that we're doing it in Mixing Lab Studio. The man said, Mixing Lab Studio, what studio is that? I said, one of the biggest studios in Jamaica. And he relayed the message and then he called back and said, okay, they say 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. He said, good. Call back Mr. Ryan and said, Mr. Ryan, he said 7 o'clock. I said, yeah, man, the studio will open, just come. So I'm going at the studio now. The man look for the place and the man said to me, say, you're very smart. You know that we don't have nothing like this in the movie. Yeah, you're very smart to bring us here. We don't have nothing like this in the movie. We said to God be the glory, you know? To God be the glory. And him start interview me, and him ask me a question and then I answer. Some countries have diamond, some countries have pearl. But we in Jamaica here, we have the reggae music. The man stop the cut and say, oh, cut. Man say, let me tell you this. If nothing else not going on in the movie, me can guarantee you, so what you just said a little while, going to be in the movie. The man said, I don't have to interview you anymore. I don't even have to say anything else to you. You already said it. But we're just going to continue the interview. And the man just continue the interview and we just drop off and done them, get me a drive out and my big man. Them take that, I laughing at the movie to you get me? And when we look, the stone at the pillar of truth become dead cornerstone, brother. So you see, everything we have, you have to just give Jah the glory and just humble yourself. That's easy. Don't make it get over you because you'll probably lose your chance. So as something becomes me get nominated as the best punchline of the movie. With all of those mega artists, mega stars in the movie.
Your life, from what this little conversation, because remember, we're only talked about 5% of your life in this year. Your life is like a movie script, boss, where it's like, this just happened because I happened to be here. This just happened. The song I dreamed. Your life is nothing short of a movie.
That's true, man. But with all of this, my brother, I tell you the truth. Me just have to just give thanks to family. I'm gonna give thanks to my family or them have patience with me because I'm not really making this lot of money and people figure say them people are well alright and thing. But no, we have to just give thanks to the people who keep we going, who we can call upon and say, so me have a studio session today, but me shot $100 and I say no problem, man. Now question me. So me have to just all of me, it just have to be a whole cohesiveness and not me alone and the whole family, the whole team. You get what man say, the whole of it. Just have to say, people keep on and say, don't give up, man. We are someone, you are the greatest. You are the this, you are the that. Just push, just keep on doing it. You know what I mean? And that's how we are doing. And that's why a lot of people probably don't know about it and don't know nothing because we not push up in nobody, we not run, we tell nobody the whole story. You get what I'm saying?
You see, after this conversation comes out, they're going to learn today, boss.
Yes, I can tell you this. I mean, it's a good energy with that because normally me not even talk so much. Me not even tell people so much things. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I won't interview me, but this one, people are going to hear some things that them never hear before for sure.
Thank you for sitting down and actually making this happen. Because as I said, I know that you're one of those hidden gems that the wider people are going to really discover. Said, holy smokes, this is the man we saw on stage. This is what we heard. Okay, you're the one that did this. This is why I have these conversations, boss.
And the thing is, like, we love the music so much still, we don't get paid for what we do. Because you will call me into a studio to play a bass line. And when I reach into the studio, it happened that without effortless, me end up taking over the session because me start hear so much things. You know what I mean? When you're done, you're not right on the credit. Say, I wear him to do that, I wear him to do that. I just a bass playing me I get credit for. You know what I mean? So we can fit in any aspect of the music. Aspect of the music, we can teach it. We can't do anything you want to do in the music, but it's just that people highlight it like how we should get highlighted. You have album right now I play with bass line on it to it. Big song we're not even calling it right now, but big song and big artists I don't mind you right on it. And I me play it. You understand what I say? You have artists right now and song out there right now where me created from scratch. I don't mind him upon it because me never really get employed to do it. Me just do it as out of my art and how me feel about the music and I was present there. Me just take it over and do it.
Boy,
You
listen,
know what I
I got
mean?
I got two questions, two more before I get you out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about the business and stuff, when did you actually learn the business of the business?
It's just along the way. It's not a when. It's just along the way. Like, you know, certain things start to reach you and you start, so this now reach me again. So you do a research and find out why you can do to make it do happen again. And you know, I just saw. But me personally still, it's not a businessman.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of things miss me because me's not a businessman. You get me? Me's a man where love the music and put everything in the music and ignore the business. You know what I mean? I just recently know me start, you know, go deeper into the business of the music because I realize it's a music business and a normal thing. And you will dead a papa if you not get involved. You know what I mean? But I used to like trust people a lot with my creativity. I used to just do things and just flap and just, yeah, man, that bad. I just never can go about my business. You know, business with you. But I can't do that no more. I can't wait for you to call me all the time. I'll tell me, say, yo, you know, say, yo, John, I mean, I have nothing, but I just want you to come do a thing. I mean, I do that so much in 30 odd years, me I do that. But so now you have to go through the whole system. I tell a friend of mine, say, yo, you know me as an artist and you know so I can represent myself and thing and you know put me up on your show. You have to wait until when you have a call or agency to get me before you put me up on your show because at this it I go. To reach a point now in my career now when nobody now can't talk to me no more. For me not have the art that to stick up no more and say, yo, this amount no want or that amount. So you have to start talking to some other people because
Mm.
we have to survive.
Only makes sense, boss. Only
Yeah, we have to
makes sense.
survive.
You've been doing this business now over 30 odd years now, okay? When would you
Definitely.
say has been the highest point in your career? And when would you say have been the lowest point in your career thus far?
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, the highest part of my career was with Beenie Man. Because Beenie Man thing was it wasn't a singing thing, it was a bass playing thing, but my bass was like my voice. So I'm not singing but me in a music, a bass playing. I use my bass and become this who I am today, not singing. You get me? So being a man thing was the highest part of my career. Is where I performed to 8 to 50, 60,000 all over the world. I leave, fly from Jamaica to Paris just to perform one song into a TV station and get paid and come back on me hand. So those kind of things are mega thing for me. You know what I mean? And then the lowest part of my career now was actually when Beenie Man thing popped on. So.
Mhm.
But if I don't tell you, you don't know that because nobody have never seen me popped off. You get what I say? But it really affect me. Being a man stuff really affect me and my career because I had put everything into it.
Mhm.
And the part that hurt is that sometimes some people would make it look like it was nothing, like you didn't do nothing. And that's a part that's what I felt them in a lie. Like a man see her feet and say, where they do, anybody else could have do that. You know what I mean? But me not go cry and tell nobody say, yo, I saw a thing set up because we have to bounce back in it. I know how much time you fall and how much time how fast you can get up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I saw it go.
Big boss, brother
Yes, sir.
Wormbass. This has been an epic, 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 epic conversation to see things the way how
Really,
you see it through your eyes, the way how you're
really.
just transparent and you just told the stories, boss.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. And the
Yeah.
crazy thing with it, you're still not even halfway in your musical journey right now. You
Not,
understand? You still
it's
have
just a start.
so
This
much.
part of the thing just a start, man. The people are gonna amaze. Even this album that I'm coming out with, man. The growth is humongous, man. The growth. I'm not blowing my own horn or anything like that, but trust me, because the Bible said, "I say enough self praise, you know, not that not good." But the proverb not like when I self praise. So it's not even self praise. It's just a reality. You see me? When I listen back to what I did before and what I'm doing now, it's amazing the growth of the Almighty just make the things get bigger and bigger and bigger. But right now we are the songs of play in everywhere, in every situation. The song that I just put out, Follow You, that song can play up in the church. Anyway you want to play it, it can play, you know. So at that kind of level that we are carry the thing up. We are carry the thing up. We are separate ourselves from the pack kind of energy. We don't want a man look for me and say, oh, it's a bass man that I try to do something. We don't want that. So the growth, and there's always just more room for growth, more room. We don't stop growth.
Because as you said, Follow Me, that's your latest release, and it's like an Afrobeat type of style, and you have visuals for those ones also.
Yes. Follow You is one of them songs that will just feel good. And you know, say every time, most of my songs, them are the Almighty me have praise. And even if I sing about a love song, I sing some I fall off on a tree and climb a mountain. None of them type of song that me sing. You get what I say? So it's just things to just elevate people and just make people. When I come out at a company, I put out a song with me and a bridging, you know, I think the 30th of September, Royal Root Studio. It's called Hold On To Your Pride. It's a song where just embrace women and I tell them, say, yo, you know, have to chip off yourselves naked. And me just see a song with that one of my fellow artists, them as well, artists I'm in love with, some naked sitting and so. But yeah, one of them kind of thing. It come like it just a sell yourself and a sell out cheap. And so me I say, yo, just hold on to your pride and just know, say, even when things bad, you know, you have to put your heart on the line them with them. Because people just have to step on it and just, you know, look by your line. Nothing. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much house you own, no matter, you know, you have to hold on to something, you know. You're priceless. Woman are not priceless, man. You can't just naked up on ourselves. We don't have to make we as men feel like we have to know we're under the frock. We can't just a seat. So we have a tired eye.
You get it. Mr. Bass, right now the floor is yours 100%. If there's anything you want to say, anybody you want to big up, leave some contact information where they can check out your album, where they could follow you on social media, anything right now, the floor is yours 100%.
Yeah, so I want to say, before I go in and I just want to give Jah the glory, the honor, and the praise for this opportunity. And I want to big up all the listeners, and I want to big up all the people in your team to make this possible. And I say enough respect to the eye for having I on your podcast. Listen to me. Now, we don't have much to say more than what we are saying. People have to just start loving one another. Put more love in the thing. It's just a 4-letter word, but it has big meaning. You get me? I say love straight from your heart. You know? First thing you do is start love yourself. Knowing that you is the creator. You is the one that represent the creator and the universe. So treat yourself like how you want to treat. Like how you want the next man to treat you. You get what I say? Start love yourself so you can love some other people. Find somebody to love. It's not so hard. You know what I mean? Stop the senseless killing and the raping and them thing they bad beverage, man. Them thing is not a way and a full style that, you know. Even we understand, say, we don't under spell, but try to break the spell. Try to break the spell, my people. You know, it doesn't have to be like this. You get what I say? And we don't want to sound like a preacher. You know what I mean? But we just want to make the item know, say, there is a next way to life than what we are doing right now. This naked thing and this with heap of guns and pretty car and all of these things are nice, but you know, have to live up in it and make it feel like without it, you cannot prosper. You get what I say? Because you have to remember, there's a place where the whole way I go and we can't carry none of that with it. You get me? So we have to just make sure, say, we live a life that when we're gone, we can be remembered in a good way, brother. See me? You get me? Bob Marley dead so much in years, but him still a the man. Just remember that. And look on the song them when him sing. Look on the works them when him do. So that's something we can look for. That's something we can follow. You get me? So yeah, man, I just Wormbass and we have to just follow it. You know? On Instagram it's Wormbass. Facebook, Wormbass. We have 2 pages. We have an artist page and we have one page where we can sit down and chat, which is Delroy Wormbass. And what again we have? that are Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. The channel is Wormbass Music. So right now, my YouTube channel kind of need some people for just going like and just subscribe and just do some only part thing that the people them. Because I really go on, people are saying them not see it, but them now got see it because the promoter them a YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Them go look on, them not look on the body here, them look on how much likes you have, and that's how them employ you. So my fans, if you want to help Worm to go out there to be the person who can say, yo, see the artist there, who have to subscribe to my channel and also make sure so the music them I stream every day. So just that me a big day them, you know. Just listen to the music them, stream them, eat them like food. You get a mastercard of food and then little thing want to just sweat up and just dash it to you something want to live with. You get me, I say? Same on the album is called Reggae Man and it's on all the digital download platform. Go and get it. You know what I mean? And basically we want to big up the Jabber New Limited crew, big up the team, big up everyone, big up the family, everybody around me. Enough respect. You know what I mean? I will give thanks to all the sound man and the radio disc jockey them and everybody we have play Wormbass and the one that we have start playing now. We just say give thanks and praises to the Most High. We give thanks to the support. We give thanks to the energy. Blessed love. I think I talk enough.
This was an epic, great conversation.
Before we finish, then last but not least, I have to big up Mr. Morrison. You know,
Mr. Jimmy Morrison, you know that.
Big up my brother for that link up there. So that it is a great vibe, and yeah, we appreciate the eye, and we know say you know I feel so well recently, but with prayers I go out every day. You know, every morning we have with devotion, you're in our prayers and thingy. So just keep our world safe, my brother. Jah is dear, and we are dear to you know, cause we are Jah itself. Cause we represent him, you know what I mean? We are gods now. You see it? So I just say thing, but I will not say them thing there with no apology. You see, no apology when I say them thing there. So, my brother, give thanks to the link up, my brother. Give thanks for having me on your program. Give thanks to all the listeners. And we know so we're going to talk again.
For sure, because this conversation, I'm telling you, I knew it was going to be a good one, but this surpassed everything I had in my mind. Wicked conversation, boss.
Give thanks.
You understand? Let me give you an outro and get you out of here, because this one for the books. You understand? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Cuts Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out.
Rastafari, big up yourself, Mr. Muscle.
This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.